What up, everybody? Let's see, why did I lose everything? Hello. What the fuck is going on here? Can you guys hear me? I can't hear myself. Hold on. The fuck? Hello. Alright. No, this isn't gonna work. I gotta find headphones. See if they work now. No, I don't think they're gonna work now. Hello. Alright, let's fucking see what happens. What up, everybody? Welcome to Paranormal Hood. Live. Fuck it, we're doing it live. Get a fucking blunt going here. What's going on, everybody? I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do because we need to be able to hear. So enjoy the show tonight. Let's say hi to everybody going on in the chat room here. Genocide, Jelly Bean, Six Drops, Cookie, Lee. Drew J, Six Drops. Did I say Six Drops? I don't remember. Jolly, Toxic Jolly. Michael Adams, Freebird. Bitter Skeptic. What's up, Bitter Skeptic? Oh, there we go. Now my headphones sound nice. Just hope they stay like this. Did I miss anybody? I don't know if I miss you. What's up? There's a lot of people talking. Hard to see the names as they scroll back. Now, if I put it on normal speakers, then you guys will hear the reverb through, and then it'll fucking just echo through the fucking microphone. All right. I know we got somebody waiting backstage. I'm gonna bring them on in a minute, but I gotta run upstairs and stuff and see if I can get a different set of headphones because this shit keeps going in and out. It's annoying as fuck. I'll be right back, everybody. Sorry. trash. Fuck out of here. That's better. These are better. Maybe it's the fucking cord over here. What the fuck? Alright, 1 second here. Fuck it. Let's see what's fucking. It's gotta be the cord. Am I crackling to you guys, or is that just fucking me and the fucking headphones here? Well, fuck it. Let's just run with this shit. Alright. Let's add somebody here. Let's bring on our guest host tonight. Welcome, Biz Skeptic.
Good to be back.
Good to be back. Good to see you. Oh, man. See, these things ain't gonna work. Fucking shit. I can't hear shit.
Ah, the joys of technical difficulties.
Fucking always technical difficulties. Let me see if I switch to this other thing. There we go. Let me try this one. All right, let's see. So far, that sounds better.
Hopefully.
All right, I think we're good. So, welcome everybody. We got a bit of skeptic here. Yeah, see these fucking headphones. See, it's gonna be the fucking cord or something.
Headphones are always a blast. Mine always have trouble connecting half the time with Bluetooth if I'm using buds, and then the audio sounds like garbage.
Try and figure this out because I need to be able to hear our guest hosts. Okay, so far that sounds better.
If it helps, I probably don't say anything you don't already know anyway.
All right, so how's it going there, Bit of Skeptic?
Oh, so far so good. Floodwaters are receding, snow's finally melting.
Wrong with my shit here. Fucking hold on. Let me see. Whoa, that's fucking, holy shit, that's loud as fuck.
Now you got all the volume.
God damn, I should have done that months ago, huh? I still had the splitter on there and everything, and that was, the splitter must be no good. Fucking everything up without the splitter, holy shit. We used to have the volume cranked all the way up just so we could freaking barely hear anybody or any videos. Oh, shit. All right, I think we can finally get this fucking shit show started here.
Isn't that usually the way of it?
Yeah. So, what's been going on up in your neck of the woods? Anything good up there?
Well, snow's finally mostly melting, so that's been all right. That gave us a bit of a flood, but it didn't last long, so I'd say about the only thing of real interest going on otherwise is the ditch lines here all connect up into the lake, so then fish swim right up the drainage ditches, so you can actually go in and grab them with your hands.
There you go.
It's pretty easy to go get fish.
Nice. Good stuff. Yeah, we're about to have a heat wave here. It's supposed to be like 90 for the next fucking few days.
I've got a chance of snow, I think, on tomorrow or Saturday.
Yeah. It's going to be 90 here and then snowing up there.
Gotta love the weather.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I still have a little firewood left. If it gets too cold, I can still heat a little while longer.
That's good. Michael Adams said a bit of noodling, huh? You guys got big catfish up there like that?
Catfish, not so much. We do have catfish and we have bullhead. But the catfish here don't get too terribly big. Biggest one I think I've seen would be, I don't know, maybe 3.5 feet long, maybe about 25 pounds.
That's not too bad.
Carp, we get big carp up here. You can get a carp that's just about as long as your leg. So, of course, you'd only want to eat them things in the beginning of the spring when the water's still cold. Otherwise, they're kind of mushy, but they're mostly flavorless too. So,
yeah,
gotta cook them right.
So, let's see here. I'm gonna have to bring this fucking shit up. We'll get bring this up. We're gonna talk about this fucking congressional fucking shit hearing.
Well, did you listen to the whole thing?
No, fuck no.
Oh.
I've only heard bits and pieces and stuff, and that's all I needed to hear. We know it's fucking a bunch of bullshit.
I sat through the whole thing. What a mess! Like just a bunch of glad handing and nothing. That's all it wound up being. Everybody thanking everybody for being there, and then remember in June of 2021 when we discussed this? Well, nothing's changed. I swear to God, they go through it's like they got a media blitz or something. If there's nothing good going on in the world, bring up UFOs again. That'll distract everyone for a while. Baby formula shortage, let's talk UFOs. That'll get everybody thinking of something else. Yeah,
it's always with the distractions.
Yeah.
All right, I got a video here. It's a short little video, but it's supposed to have everything covered in this short little about 10-minute video here. So we'll pick this apart real quick.
Sure.
Let's see what they have to say. Well, there we go. He just did our work for us. They just told you right there. We can identify, you know what I mean? Oh, we might not be able to tell right now, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Well, I don't know. We can't see the video, so
if you guys can't see it yet? Can you hear it? No?
Yeah. No.
Why didn't it fucking share? What the fuck? All right, give me a second here. I have to start it over again. Go back for this first fucking 30 seconds.
There we got it.
Yeah, there we got it. There we go.
Aerial phenomenon, or UAP. What are UAP? Put simply, UAP are airborne objects that, when encountered, cannot be immediately identified. However, it is the department's contention that by combining appropriately structured collected data with rigorous scientific analysis, any object that we encounter can likely be isolated, characterized, identified, and if necessary, mitigated. With regard to the importance of transparency,
that's what I was talking about right there. They tell you right there, if it comes down to scientific evidence, they're going to scrutinize it. It doesn't mean, what is it? Oh, it's aliens. We figured it out. Yay.
It's the same old. The U stands for unidentified, as in, we don't know.
Yeah, and then
is
you
it a
just
goof?
perfectly
Is it an
explain
alien?
that.
We don't know.
Perfectly explain what they're going to do when they can't identify stuff and what goes on. You didn't say, we jump to the first letter of the alphabet and we say aliens.
Yeah.
There's a whole process to it.
Yeah.
So, let's see if we get this.
Is fully committed to the principle of openness and accountability to the American people. However, we are also mindful of our obligation to protect sensitive sources and methods. Our goal is to strike that delicate balance, one that enables us to maintain the public's trust while preserving those capabilities that are vital to the support of our service personnel. In closing, the department is committed to this effort and welcomes the challenge. We thank you for your committed support.
In real time.
To the first year.
There it was.
I got to laugh with
in
this
many cases,
stupid video.
That's all that a report may include. And in many other cases, we have far less than this. As we detailed in both the unclassified and classified versions of the preliminary assessment released by the Office of the Director of National Intelligence last June, this often limited amount of high-quality data and reporting hampers our ability to draw firm conclusions about the nature or intent of UAP.
Does this guy not understand that they're flying in a fucking jet and shit like that? Like how?
Well, and even this video, like he's showing, like when I first saw that video, I'm like, what are we looking for? What am I supposed to be seeing here? And then I'm thinking, like, is it that white dot up in the corner that just kind of looks like glare off the shroud?
Is he talking about camera glare? Or is it because they showed 10 seconds of camera glare? Or?
Well, and even he basically says, like, look, this is what we're getting. You know, this might be all we have when it comes to a report of UAP phenomenon. So we don't know what was there. We can't say for sure if it was atmospheric garbage, a balloon, something, or was it just glare off the cockpit? Because this guy went past it doing, you know, Mach 1.5 in an F-23.
And that camera, it looked like it was like his own, like, was it a helmet cam or something? Because it was jostling around an awful lot, you know what I mean? So it's just so hard.
Yeah, I think the pilots just throw the jets into park up there and pull their iPhone out.
Huh?
They just throw their jets into park and pull their iPhone out.
But yeah, that's what it looks like. It looks like he's holding up his iPhone or something.
Yeah, it's like a drive-by
Bigfoot like it's
thing.
the onboard cameras or anything like that. It's so how are we going to determine like what the fuck that is?
Well, and that's why it's unidentified.
No, it's aliens.
Well, it gotta be.
It has to be. We can't identify it.
Is it glare? Is it a Mylar balloon? Is it a goose? Oh, alien.
What else is this fucking idiot got to say?
Detailed in the ODNI report, if and when individual UAP incidents are resolved, they likely fall into one of 5 potential explanatory categories: airborne clutter, natural atmospheric phenomena, U.S. government or U.S. industry developmental programs, foreign adversary systems, or a other bin that allows for a holding bin of difficult cases and for the possibility of surprise and potential scientific discovery. Let me show you a couple of another video and image taken.
I want to see the videos from the other bin because it's probably more of that shit he just showed right there. you know,
I mean? For what we get out of this, they have very little.
Oh,
like
they have absolutely nothing.
Like having listened to this whole hearing, like this individual here presenting, and I forget his name, but he's with the UAP program. He basically says, like, you know, what we're getting for reports, the information is vague, you know, so, and then what we have to investigate isn't good. So it's unidentified because it's unidentified. I mean, yeah, like he'll show us a few more little clips. And I mean, it's basically nothing we haven't seen on YouTube since 2014.
Wow. Yeah. How many millions of dollars do you think it cost for them to have a congressional hearing that day with all these people there?
Oh, I'm sure this worthless hearing could have bought a lot of baby formula.
No. God damn it, now the fucking headphones are fucking up again. I can still hear them. All right, let's listen to more of this shit.
Years apart in different areas. In this video, U.S. Navy personnel recorded what appears to be triangles, some flashing, recorded several years ago, off the coast of the United States. This was recorded while the U.S. Navy ship observed a number of small unmanned aerial systems in the area. And importantly, the video was taken through night vision goggles with a single lens reflex camera. These remained unresolved for several years.
Well, I'm convinced.
Of those 144, 18 of them.
So, again, like, what are we supposed to do with video like that? You know what I mean? Like, just because it's not identifiable, it's aliens?
Well, and this, like, even that video's in my back catalog. That one's
Oh, yeah, which
debunked.
one's that?
I'd have to go back in my catalog, but that was a UFO video that was actually debunked by the skeptic Mick West, who pointed out that what we're seeing is basically like airplane lights flashing, and because of the single lens night vision monocular they're using, as it's zoomed in, the flashing light creates a triangular shape because the lens is triangular.
Oh, I think I
The
saw that.
shutter in it forms a triangle, so as the light flashes, it makes a green triangle. And he actually admits that later on, that, yeah, okay, it was unsolved for a couple of years, and then we realized, oh, damn, that's just lights. And, I mean, he basically goes, yeah, that was lights on some drones observing the naval ship.
Yeah, most of these videos that they've released and stuff, Mick West has pretty much covered them all and shown like what it actually is.
Yeah, exactly. Like, a lot of this stuff has been pulled apart already. So it's that's why I'm laughing, because it's like, this is June 2021 all over again, the last UFO hearing.
Yeah,
Exactly. It's basically just the greatest hits collection thrown out on there for entertainment.
Let's see.
Reportedly appear to exhibit unusual flight characteristics, appear to demonstrate advanced technology, and some of them appeared to remain stationary in winds aloft, move against the wind, maneuver abruptly, or move at considerable speed without discernible means of propulsion. That's pretty intriguing. And if you're able to answer this in this setting, are we aware of any foreign adversary capable of moving objects without any discernible means of propulsion?
I think I would, without discernible means of propulsion, I would say that we're not aware of any adversary that can move an object without discernible means of propulsion. The question then becomes, in many of these cases where we don't have a discernible mean of propulsion in the data that we have, in some cases, there is likely sensor artifacts
Oh, he's covering this all up. That's what everybody was saying who wanted them to say it's aliens and shit. You know what I mean?
I've seen such a mixed reaction online. I've seen people going off about how they're admitting it, there's something out there, they're admitting it, and I've seen other people going, well, this is completely nothing. Like, this is just, you know, they're not going to ever give us anything. It's just the same old, same old. And I mean, as for us skeptics out there looking to see if we're going to get something, it's just the same crap we've had for years. I mean, this is a revelation, you know, so amazing that Tom DeLonge beat them to it. You know, over at his fucking Angels and Airwaves merch store that he calls the To the Stars Academy.
$40 million in debt.
Yeah. Yeah, and I thought he apparently had UFO chunks that were definitely not of this world, but these guys have never heard of him and his UFO pieces.
I have no idea.
They got to get down to that strip mall he calls his office.
that may be hiding some of that. There's certainly some degree of something that looks like signature management that we have seen from some of these UAP, but I would caution. I would simply say that there are a number of events in which we do not have an explanation. In which, and there are a small handful in which there are flight characteristics or signature management, that we can't explain with the data that we have. We'll continue. Those are obviously the ones that are of most interest to us. Earlier, when we asked about how you avoid technological surprise, the biggest way you avoid technological surprise is by collecting this type of data and by, importantly, calibrating the assumptions that you go into with how you do that analysis. I'll tell you, within the UAP task force, we have...
The guy sounds like the right guy to be in charge, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is exactly what I expected to hear from these people and stuff. I wasn't waiting for them to come out and say, yeah, we've got flying saucers all over this motherfucker. I was expecting somebody to come up and like, yeah, well, we figured out what that video is, whatever this is, you know, pretty much what this guy's saying. And, you know, like, I don't know what these Congress people were expecting to get out of them. They were probably hoping for aliens too.
Well, it seems like they were, and actually, like in the beginning, as they're introducing everybody in the full, like talk and all this, as they're going through everything, like the one congressman's like, "Oh, and I'm a big sci-fi fan, and I've attended conventions, and never dressed up though." And then one of the other ones goes, "Well, that never dressed up though seemed a little weak, so you know, ha ha ha." Like they're all having a laugh with it. Nobody's taking this that serious.
No, they're all fanboys and shit, fanboys, fangirls, you know what I mean? They're like, they grew up watching fucking alien movies and shit, Men in Black, whatever. Now they're like, oh, I'm in Congress. Let me see if I can find out if this shit is real.
I'm sitting here right in front of my coffee.
$10 payers and money and everything. And
I got my VHS of Starship Troopers right here if I want to see aliens.
There you go.
One basic assumption. And that is that generally speaking, our sensors operate as designed. And we make that assumption because many times these are multi-sensor collections. We make no assumptions about the origin of this or that there may or may not be some sort of technology that we don't understand. That's, I think, the key to avoiding technological surprises by calibrating those assumptions.
It's also been reported that there have been UAP observed and interacting with and flying over sensitive military facilities, particularly, and not just ranges, but some facilities housing our strategic nuclear forces. One such incident allegedly occurred at Malmstrom Air Force Base, in which 10 of our nuclear ICBMs were rendered inoperable. At the same time, a glowing red orb was observed overhead. I'm not commenting on the accuracy of this. I'm simply asking you whether you're aware of it and whether you have any comment on the accuracy of that.
Let me pass that to Mr. Bray. I think we've been looking at the last 3 years.
That data is not within the holdings of the UAP task force.
Okay, but are you aware of the report, or that the data exists somewhere?
I have heard stories. I have not seen the official data on that.
So you've just seen informal stories?
There is no official data on that.
There's not. It's a tabloid thing from another retired whistleblower again. It's a 1967 event nobody decided to talk about until 2022 or 2021. I forget what the date even was on that stupid Mirror article.
Hold on, yeah, I'll
2021, October 2021. You know, like this guy's talking about an event from 1967. It's not even, they don't even have it. He later says like it wasn't even part of Project Blue Book or anything. So a UFO that shut down 10 intercontinental ballistic nuclear missiles never got an official report, never made it into any kind of government research or anything like that. There's no records. But, you know, we got this one guy. This is like that guy I busted years back that was, that he had all those photos of aliens, and here was a plastic toy he bought at a Kmart.
yeah. I like fucking Linda Moulton Howe using video game fucking aliens.
Yeah.
And
That one is a
she
special
gets busted,
type of
puts it
crazy.
behind a paywall.
Yeah, like I'm surprised
Still
for
uses it, but just puts it behind a paywall.
yeah this like this tabloid bullshit. I'm surprised he didn't go, well, what about the allegations of Robert Lazar? You know, Luis Elizondo has said on many occasions that, like, you know, that's, but here's the thing. Those people, these supposedly great, knowledgeable individuals within this field, they were never a part of this, and neither are their claims.
That's exactly. I'm gonna pull up a video of something here right after we finish this little thing of somebody we all love to hear from on these subjects.
stories, no official assessment that you've done or exists within DoD that you're aware of regarding the Malmstrom incident?
All I can speak to is, what's within my cognizance, the UAP task force, and we have not looked at that incident.
Well, I would say, I mean, it's a pretty high-profile incident. I don't claim to be an expert on this, but it's out there.
This guy's an actual this is an elected official right here, who's not able to find out that this again came from a tabloid.
I would have to tell you honestly, I would like to say, man, it sometimes seems like you Americans elect the dumbest people you can find. But Canada's no better, so I can't exactly take the mickey out of that one. It's pretty obvious that if you want to be a politician, the best thing you can do is be charismatic. Intellect comes after.
Exactly. I don't think intellect comes into it very much at all.
Yeah, in the ether,
Babies.
you're the guys investigating it. I mean, who else is doing it?
If something was officially brought to our attention, we would look at it. There are many things that are out there in the ether that aren't officially brought to our
So
attention.
how would it have to be officially brought?
I would like to see the evidence for this ether you keep talking about.
Yes, sir. Ether was a spiritualist concept that was debunked roundly in the era of Houdini. So
You'll see it
I'm
official.
bringing it to your
Sure.
attention.
So,
This is pretty official.
so we'll go back and take a look at it. But generally, there is some authoritative figure that says there is an incident that occurred. We'd like you to look at this. But in terms of just tracking what may be in the media that says that something occurred at this time, at this place, there are probably a lot of leads that we would have to follow up on. I don't think we have resource to do that right now.
Well, I don't claim to be an authoritative figure, but for what it's worth, I would like you to look into it. And
Sure.
if for no other reason, you could dismiss it and say this is not worth wasting resources on.
Will do.
And have we attempted to communicate with those objects?
No.
So we don't even put out a alert saying, U.S. Identify yourself. You are, within our flight path or something like that. We haven't said anything like that.
We've not put anything.
Why is that even relevant?
have you guys tried to communicate? Like we've all watched, like Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Have you tried playing a synthesizer and flashing a flashlight? Has anyone checked to see if the aliens like Dio? Try playing Holy Diver, see if we can get more response.
Out like that. Generally speaking, for example, in the video that we showed earlier, it appears to be something that is, unmanned, appears to be something that may or may not be in controlled flight. And so we've not attempted any communication with that.
Okay. So, and I assume we.
Again, these are fighter jets. Like, how are they going to communicate with something that they don't know what it is? How do you know what I mean? You're going to scan just send out a message across all known channels that you got. How do you know they got something that can communicate and pick that up?
And okay, so attempt communication in what way? What would be considered communication to something not from Earth? So hypothetically, somehow we have an actual alien craft that shows up and is in view of a bunch of pilots. And this thing communicates through farts. How do we talk to it? For all we know, jet exhaust is their version of fuck you.
Could be.
Right.
Could be something like that.
I mean, look at how squid communicate. They have color-changing cells in their skin that they can expand and contract rapidly to change their color and texture.
Yeah.
So that's a squid. That's something right here on Earth. We have no idea how the hell they communicate. We don't know what the flashes and everything mean.
No idea. That's what I mean. Like these people are investigating videos and things that are brought to them after this incident, and he's asking them questions like, "Well,
yeah,
like he was there. Like, well, did you communicate with these things? Again, was it like, did you guys set up lights and synthesizers like in the movie? Like he's. Yeah. I don't think he understands. Again, another idiot. I don't think Mr. Krishnamuthar, what I can't really see his whole name. It's blended together there. Yeah. it just sounds like another idiot. Like he's asking stuff that this whole thing is pointless. That's why we're only covering this like 20-minute bit we're doing here on it.
Yeah, like even the full hearing is under an hour and a half. Like the full hearing is shorter than most podcasts.
This 9 minutes is more than I wanted to hear. I've already heard, like I said, I've heard most of this. I watched a couple other videos and stuff, bits and pieces of it, and it's just like, why? Why? It is. It's, people, if anything's a conspiracy, that like this would be the thing. They're just trying to distract people. They do distract people with dumb, stupid shit like this. Like, what the fuck
I swear,
was
this is
happening?
just to put something else in the news cycle right now, other than American elections, the war, and supply shortages.
Exactly. You know,
Because this
like
is
when they
this
do
is a
congressional
huge-
hearings about baseball steroids, what the fuck are you guys involved with that? Let baseball handle that shit. You know what I mean? They got a whole commission and all that.
You know what? Let's just put steroids in all the sports. I want to see what kind of incredible Hulk superhuman can hit a baseball like 5 miles out to sea or something. Let's just roid them up and see what kind of Avengers level super demons we can create in professional sports. Let them run wild.
No.
You can make an all natural league
But
later.
that's shit that I forgot what was happening when that shit show was fucking going on, and all these congressional hearings about fucking steroids and shit, and fucking they got Barry Bonds going to White House and shit. And it's fucking ridiculous. It's just that's something that really happens. They do just try and distract people and keep people from fucking, especially elections and shit, election time and when there's shit going on. So that's something that's real. And it's right before our eyes. Because why is this dumbass right here saying, well, were you communicating with them? Well, no, I wasn't in that fucking F-14 flying that day way back then with those fucking pilots training and stuff. I was, in my office.
Yeah.
So,
You've never discharged any armaments against a UAP, correct?
That's correct.
How about wreckage? Have we come across any wreckage of any kind of object that has now been examined by you?
The UAP task force doesn't have any wreckage that isn't explainable, that isn't consistent with being of terrestrial origin.
Do we have any sensors underwater detect on submerged UAP?
oh, there we go. He's talking about USOs.
Yeah, he's talking about the Nimitz.
That normally doesn't come up. So I was surprised when I heard about that. That he brought up USOs because that's not a big. I mean, this guy must be deep into fucking UFO land.
Yeah, someone's
Or he's got
spending a lot of time on Reddit.
somebody in his fucking district or whatever is fucking sending this dude emails. You gotta ask him about the USOs.
Probably Jeremy Corbell.
Right. That's who we're gonna hear from next after this is over here.
Probably, yeah.
So,
Professional witness.
we got Jeremy Corbell's thoughts on this thing. It's we'll listen to that next. Let's finish this
Really?
one.
Jeremy Corbell had a thought? Wow.
He has a lot of them, but that doesn't mean that any of them are good.
Anything that is in the ocean or in the seas?
So I think that would be more appropriately addressed in closed session, sir.
Okay. Basically, it sounds like we have a good partnership with FAA. But apart from FAA, we don't have partnerships with other agencies or other entities that might be tracking so that we could enlarge our data set to make
So
comparisons.
we will. So that's the goal of this next effort will be to expand that relationship with the rest of government and the interagency.
Yeah, that's we just need some more money. Give
Yes.
us more money. It's just they're just trying to inflate the military budget. Fucking
Expand the partnerships.
yep. Again, it's all about that's the other part of this. It's they want more money for the military.
Yeah.
You know,
Hmm.
they slashed that when they slashed the black ops budget there and everything, and they cut out a lot of this shit years ago. That just diminished the program, so they're trying to get their money back now.
Yeah. Well, cocaine and congressional orgies don't pay for themselves. We got to expand the relationships.
Yes.
With that, I want to thank you all for taking the time out.
And that's it. That we did 10-minute video just explained everything you need to know about fucking if UFO aliens are real, right there from the Congress. That's it. That the whole shit show, an hour and a half, a little less than an hour and a half, narrowed down into 10 fucking minutes.
Yep. And that's all there was. After all the glad handing and all the introductions, and let's take a minute to think of so and so, or let's take a minute to acknowledge this tragedy, this section of the war, all of that said and done, when they got right into it, it was the individuals from the Department of Defense standing there going, okay, yes, we get some reports. We're trying to remove the stigma from reports so we can get more reports so everybody doesn't think everyone's insane. We have 400 reports that we're reviewing right now. We've got all the data from Project Blue Book. And out of those 400, 18 or something we think are interesting. And out of all of those, we go, okay, well, the problem we have is we have extremely limited data. And there's only very little room to make any kind of decision with that data. We can't come up with a definitive answer. So we say it's unidentified. So it's the same old that we've been saying for years. UFO does not mean aliens. It just means a flying object that went unidentified. We passed it too fast. We didn't record it long enough. We recorded it with too poor quality of equipment. Was it a Mylar balloon? Don't know. Was it a surveillance drone from an allied or enemy country? Don't know. Was it a kind of U.S. experimental craft that was flying? And we really don't want to admit it because maybe it didn't work. It was a boondoggle. It cost too much money. Or it's something we figure we can use to bomb an enemy. Don't know.
Well, like in that video that was released back there from the fucking Navy things and stuff, if you listen to what they're saying, they redact a lot of what they're saying. At one point he says, is that one of, and like he's saying, is that one of our, and probably said whatever it is.
Yeah.
But they redacted that because he's talking about something that he shouldn't be, that other people, we can't be knowing about and stuff. So it's things like that. It's balloons. I don't know how many videos I've been sent, and I look at it, and it's balloons. There was even one where it was, I know. The big thing, and it looked like a triangle, and everybody's like, oh, it's a triangle, a UFO, and everything like that. But when you zoomed in, it was a bunch of balloons from the dollar store.
Oh, I saw one where it was a metallic triangle craft, and when I finally found the original video that was clear, and the guy zooming in on it, it was a Mylar balloon shaped like the letter A. I saw another one where it was a half-inflated one blowing through a canyon in Mexico, and the family's filming it as it's blowing by. And in the videos they would put out on Instagram and stuff, they would cut out the audio and just edit over some music. So you'd see this thing going, and they're like, oh, here's a witch that was sighted flying in whatever area in Mexico. But when you find the original video, you can hear the family as they're filming it, and they go, oh, what's that in Spanish? Oh, it's a balloon. Look at that balloon. Look at the balloon going. I wonder where the balloon came from.
Yeah. So, because I zoomed in, and supposedly this fucking fighter jet pilot saw this thing, and they couldn't identify it and stuff, but anybody could have done what I did. You just zoom in on it, and you could see that it was a bunch of balloons. One of them was clear as day right there. It was a smiley fucking face. The other ones must have said like happy birthday, some other shit, but you could tell that it was like a bunch of balloons from the dollar store because it looked exactly like all the balloons that you see hanging up when you go to a dollar fucking store around here. I don't know if you got dollar stores or what you call your dollar stores up there.
Yeah, there's a UFO sponsored by Dollar Tree.
And then we even did it. We did it on the show. People in the chat probably remember and stuff. We looked up the area where that was, and then we looked how many. There was like 3 or 4 dollar trees and dollar stores right in that area and stuff below where the fucking video was shot and everything. Like, so if somebody walked out of the dollar store with some balloons for their birthday party and was going to put them in their car, and they fucking let them go, and then this jet flies by, and they're like, oh, it's an alien UFO.
Exactly. Well, even look at the incidents that were going on in California with the guy on the jetpack flying around the airports. And here it was just a drone that was cut out to look like a guy on a jetpack, and they were flying it around. It was a silhouette.
Now that's why the UFO UFO sightings has gone up in recent years is because look at all the drones that have become available and
You
out
can go to
there.
Walmart and DIY a UFO.
Yeah, and people were seeing all these drones being tested for years before this. It was so available to the public and everything that, you know, those little sightings before that. But now everybody and their grandmother has a freaking drone. So, of course, people are going to see some shit in the sky and be like, what the fuck is that? Or people are going to do some things with it like, oh, let's put a dummy on our drone and fly it around and see what happens.
Well, and
You
even
know?
look at some of the oldest UFO reports. You know, the first ones people were seeing were these strange, slow-moving, cigar-shaped crafts, right before blimps became a thing.
Yeah.
A slow-moving, cigar-shaped craft.
I wonder what that could be.
Of course, back
Aliens.
then, all the aliens were sexy Nordic women. They were all horny. Gotta watch out for them horny space Nordics.
Yeah.
It's better than, was it Corey Good's Blue Chickens? Or was that Wilcox? I don't even remember anymore.
Good's got the blue chickens. All right, let's hear from a professional UFO investigator. He's an award-winning documentary maker.
Good stuff. Well, this sounds accurate.
Some I don't know award show that's not really important, but let's hear what Mr. Corbell has to say.
Dropped. There he is. Let's bring in UFO documentary filmmaker Jeremy Corbell. This is your specialty. You've been working on this for years now. Thank you for being with us today on such a big day. This is for you. And can we say the UFO community?
Absolutely. The UFO community. Yeah.
Okay. So what is the biggest revelation you think from today's hearings?
First of all, UFOs are not a matter of belief. That's a data poor perspective, and this is a data rich environment. So if you look at it this way,
Did he watch the same thing that we all just watched?
I guess he's technically not wrong. I mean, they basically said, yeah, there's UFOs because we've driven by shit so fast we don't know what it was, so we just have to say it's unidentified. So it's a data-rich environment of we have a whole lot of really shitty reports with not enough information to actually say, nah, that's
with not enough data in them. We have a whole lot of reports with not a lot of data in them.
You got to be some kind of a powerful space cadet like this individual to look at that mess and go, you're basically saying we don't have enough information to reach a determination and go, aha, look at all the data we have. When the core of the hearing was, we don't have any information.
Oh, I love it.
day human knowledge expands, and that's what we're seeing today. Today was this landmark moment. It was a moment a lot of people were asking for, and representative government came forward and offered this. It's the first time in
the community that fucking says you can't trust the mainstream media
Yeah,
and
you
the
can't trust
government
the
and everything
mainstream
is
media.
all of a sudden like, yay, we got them to do something we wanted to. Not realizing that it's a fucking bullshit fucking thing for them to do just to fucking distract everybody from everything else that's going on in the shit show right now.
Yeah. Well, and even so, he's like, okay, well, you know, it's out there. They're talking about it. This was a landmark moment, the same landmark moment we had in June of 2021.
Yep.
We're on a rerun, and you think it's a landmark? You drove in a circle.
And the same kind of thing when fucking Hillary was running and she said she was going to release the things and Barack and all these, every time the president runs, it's like, yeah, I'm going to tell everybody what's in Area 51.
Yep.
But then nobody tells you what's in Area 51. Or you get some bullshit like this. It's so landmark. It's amazing.
Yep.
We got some guys that have paid a whole shitload of money with our tax dollars to tell us that nothing's going on.
Yeah, we got a whole lot of nothing, but this time our nothing was mentioned on the mainstream media that we tell you not to trust. So we see this as a win.
Yeah.
Don't trust the government. Don't trust the media until they say exactly what we want them to say. Then, perfect. Now you can listen.
Same red flags as always.
Oh.
50 years that we've had open congressional hearings on the subject of UFOs. And not only that, Today, there was a pressure that was put on our intelligence agencies and our Department of Defense to fess up about what they know and what.
And they did. There's nothing to know.
And they did. And they said, we don't know. We don't really know anything. The reports are bad. The information is bad. We need to do further investigation, but there's really nothing here.
Out of all the reports, we've got a couple that were like, yeah, we don't know what it is, but it's definitely from this fucking planet.
Yeah, that's just
The
it.
guy
And
said
that's
everything that we see is everything is terrestrial. He even said they're all terrestrial, but some of it we just not quite sure of exactly what it is from the Earth. Here's Jeremy Corbell popping champagne bottles. Woo! Woo! We did it, guys. We did it. They had a congressional hearing. Yeah, they told us nothing, but we did it.
It's terrestrial, but it's just that little bit extra, so it's extraterrestrial.
You gotta listen. It's wordplay, man. They're telling you the truth right there in front of you.
If you play it backwards, it says Satan ate my strawberries.
I love it that Fox Channel got him on.
Well, you can't expect Fox to actually get any quality.
That's what I'm saying.
What they know is that UFOs are real, that they're physical objects, that they are advanced craft, that they outpace, outmaneuver, and outperform any of our war technology.
All right, you listened to the whole entire thing. So we only saw the 10-minute version there and stuff, and I've only seen the other few clips and stuff or whatever. During that whole entire hour and 23 minutes or whatever the fuck it was, did they say that they have evidence of any of the stuff that he just said?
At one point, they say from those 18 cases I mentioned previously that they say are representative of something that they can't specifically identify and is definitely something that needs more investigation. They go, there are some videos that appear to show items either seeming to be suspended in air, moving without evidence of propulsion, or moving in a way that seems to be contradictory to what you'd expect. So either moving quickly or seeming to be moving against the wind or whatever. So they don't say they've got stuff that can dodge fighter jets. They don't say that they have items that can outmaneuver anything we've got. What he's doing is pulling up the anecdotal accounts from the Nimitz encounter, where it was the flying Tic Tac.
Yeah.
Which Mick West and I think Thunderfoot also pointed out were, very likely just their tracking systems focused in on a commercial jet moving in an opposite direction, or possibly even birds. So, because this isn't pursuit footage, it's gimbal footage. So, and in the case of the Nimitz, like you said, there's stuff that's blacked out of there where the guy's saying, is that, and then it's blanked out. So is he going, is that one of our drones? Is that one of these? Is that this system? And they cut it out because this could be some kind of observing system. This could be some kind of track and deploy system. This could be some kind of focused hunter drone. We don't know.
Exactly. We don't know. They could have been
But in the
testing
case of the Nimitz, and that's where they mentioned before, in the Nimitz, the whole thing was supposed to be there was a big shape in the water. And that's why that guy brought up, do we have anything covering reports of UFOs coming out of the sea? Do we have sensors? Do we have this? And the guy goes, that's for the closed sessions. Because he's basically going to say, yeah, we have undersea listening stations that we'd really like the Chinese Navy not to know about. Or the Russian Navy.
Or the Russian Navy.
We have undersea deployable drones that can be launched from a submarine that can track a jet that maybe we don't want anyone to know about. And they go, no evidence of propulsion. Yeah, a balloon has no evidence of propulsion.
None at all.
A blurry goose in a camera seems to have no evidence of propulsion. The only time they leave an exhaust is if they got goose farts.
Exactly. So yeah, they didn't say anything that they're physical object, that are advanced craft.
Well, and in the full hearing, the individuals from the Department of Defense flat out say a lot of the cases are aerial suspended trash, atmospheric garbage, or they are defense systems, both foreign and domestic, from allies and aggressors.
None
So they acknowledge, like, yeah, we are dealing with drones and shit.
Craft.
Yeah. Like, we live in the world of drones. Don't expect every single one of them is going to be the quadcopter you can go buy down at Best Buy or order off of Amazon.
But look at how excited he is.
Ology. So they showed new footage today, actually. They showed new footage. So that is a symbol or a sign of UFO transparency. We're living in a different world. We're now living in a world, your children are going to grow up, and the UFO mystery, the scientific community is going to look at this. Today showed that the American people want the truth and that our representative government is.
You can't handle the truth. I can tell you, I know the exact telescope Jeremy Corbell has seen UFOs from. Here it is. I still have some of the lens left.
What, you got the same thing?
Yeah, I got the same telescope Jeremy Corbell uses right here.
I got a couple of them over here too. I got a few different telescopes and stuff. People in the chat, they got some nice telescopes and stuff. But yeah, like he's like new videos. I don't which one was new, because if he's talking about this video right here, this isn't new.
No, that's not new. That was debunked 2 years ago.
Yep. I'm gonna say that's not new. I've seen this one. This has been covered. This is definitely not new. They know this is not anything fucking special.
No.
Yeah, him pop some more fucking champagne bottles off that wood.
Fighting force. They're going to bat.
So there was both open testimony, then there was behind the scenes classified testimony. Let's put up on the screen this. Today's testimony revealed some 400 unexplained incidents, 11 of them serious enough to be categorized as near misses, where military aircraft just barely bruised past UFOs without colliding. The Pentagon has not ruled out the possibility that these incidents could be connected to extraterrestrial life. That's quite something.
Right. And so you mentioned, and it's really interesting, the closed testimony.
Oh yeah, that's evidence right there that there's really some stuff going on, and they got to discuss if they can let everybody know.
You know, everybody likes to go closed testimony. Well, you know, they're going to be discussing the real evidence, the real evidence. I was speaking with an individual recently who was sure that, you know, they won't talk about it openly, but in the closed sessions, they'll reveal what's really going on, and they'll talk about the aliens. And like, they were very supportive of the Maelstrom event, and they were very supportive of that Wilson Davis memo and stuff like that. And I'm looking at that, and I thought to myself, you know, these are things that don't hold up to even a cursory look. You only find them on UFO blogs and tabloids. And like, I sent you the specifics from the Tribune on the Wilson Davis memo. You know, like, one of the guys involved in it flat out says, that's a hoax. I was never involved in that. And I've never even met Davis. So
These are top notch. It's Jeremy Corbell. He's an investigative journalist. He does documents. You know, there's investigative journalists. They know so much. They're you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Woo.
Well, you know, this guy saw George Knapp's career and said, that's what I want for myself. Because before that, he was a performance artist.
Yeah. That shows you how smart he is, because he says he saw George Knapp's career and said, that's what I want.
Yeah. I want to be the laughing stock from Coast to Coast AM that's on the radio at 4 a.m. talking to drunk cranks and insomniacs.
Mm-hmm. Telling you that they're time travelers and shit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's some Apex TV garbage coming back to haunt you.
That's another minute or two.
So because this is a national security issue, because we have machines of unknown origin with extreme capability, we've ruled out that it's our black technology, our dark secret technology. And additionally, it's ruled out to a high degree that this is any other technology.
That was never ruled out.
I love how he says black technology, dark secret technology. It's not our dark secret technology.
Well, I guess he had to add that in because he didn't want to be racist. You know, he didn't want to be like, we ruled out our black technology. Not that I have a problem with black technology. You know, I love black technology. Just, you know, the music and the people, and it, you know, just it's really up. But you know, we've had to rule that out, and we didn't want to rule them out in a bad way. Just, you know, but I mean the dark secret technology.
That's dark secret technology. It's a dark secret. The dark evil cabal.
That's the best kind of secrets, the dark secrets. No one wants the light, fluffy secrets.
Technological nation that we know of. So that is a national security issue. If we don't know who's operating these craft, who made them, where are they from, and then also what the intent is. So the closed door briefing, that's where the things that would be a problem for national security to speak about had to be done. However, I am highly hopeful that this is the beginning, this is the start. There will be, mark my words, there will be more open congressional briefings, and they will bring in people who directly engaged these UFOs for the United States military, possibly even fired upon them.
Well, we're putting up there on the screen.
That dude said, no, we haven't engaged with these things.
Yeah, he flat out said we haven't fired on them. And you know why he's saying that they're going to reveal they fired on them? You remember the conspiracy crap about the Battle of Los Angeles?
Yeah.
You know, where all those basically trigger-happy, anxiety-ridden artillery gunners waiting on the coast opened fire on a bunch of balloons because they were afraid they were those Japanese balloon bombs.
Yep.
But somebody retouching the photo just painted a white blob in the spotlights, and they're like, "Oh, look, they fired so many thousand rounds, or 100 rounds at this UFO in 1946." Oh, I don't know if it was 1946, but if anybody's curious, you can look up the Battle of Los Angeles.
Yeah,
The investigations revealed long since they opened up on nothing or balloons. There was nothing there.
Who are they going to bring in from that incident?
But yeah, that's just it. Okay, here's a 103-year-old World War II gunnery major who was, you know, asleep at the time, but he talked to a guy who was running the guns that evening.
Didn't they already bring in people last year that were involved with UFOs?
Yeah, and it was the same.
He says, "Mark my words, it's going to happen now." I'm like,
It's going to happen. I mean, it's already happened twice, but we're going for number 3. It's like the John Wick movies. You know, number 1 was good, number 2, but you know, number 3, that was where all the action was. So, you know, this is the John Wick of UFOs.
Right now, the screen, stigma has gotten in the way of good intelligence because not everyone believes. So you started off this interview saying that this isn't a matter of belief, but you certainly know that there are still the non-believers. There are skeptics out there. So how do you change that? And one of
They're out there.
Oh yeah.
We better be careful. There could be skeptics out there right now.
There could be skeptics right now that don't believe Jeremy Corbell's bullshit.
I just, my brain goes back to that Joe Rogan interview he did where he was with Lazar, and he's basically like holding his hand as he says, "I don't know," or "I don't remember" a million freaking times, and Joe's patting him on the hand and being like, "Oh, it's okay, don't worry. You know, we know what you
drink last night. I know.
History's gonna forgive you for having a headache. Don't you worry, buddy."
The same interview, he says, "Yeah, they didn't tell me anything on the first day," and then 10 minutes later, he's like, "Yeah, the first day they were showing me all kinds of stuff."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I love Jeremy's like, "Yeah, tell him about this. Tell him. Remember, this is what happened."
Yeah. Yeah, remember, you should remember. You say you don't remember, but I remember you saying you remembered. So let me contradict you and force you to play in front of the camera like a trained monkey.
And this is all top-notch evidence to an investigative journalist like Jeremy Corbell.
Oh, yeah, this is the finest investigative journalism Fox News has to offer today.
things is why haven't more pilots come forward?
Because there's nothing to come forward with.
because a lot of them that have seen things looked at something going by in the window and went, I don't know what the hell that is, and kept flying.
You don't have time to take out their phones and fucking record shit.
You know, the guys are flying and they look out the window and, you know, he gets on the microphone and he goes, Gary, do you see that? And he goes, yeah. And you're like, do you think that, what do you think that is? And he goes, I don't know. And he says, all right, never mind. Now they say in the hearing, they're trying to remove stigma. They would like to remove the stigma to get these reports more common and to get more information on what they're dealing with. And I can understand that. Yes, there should be a standardized report system and a way to collect any instrumental data that's out there. Because if we're ever going to confirm one of these events as an actual alien craft, should it ever happen, we need that data to prove it. Because
a bunch of people's stories. That's what I think the problem is with this, all these crazy former military people or pilot people's stories out there that are coming across these guys' desks and they look at it and like, oh fuck, here's another one. Just like I've been doing for the last fucking 5 years.
Well,
like you've been doing. You know what I mean? And they're like,
how many of these have we pulled apart over the years?
Exactly.
Dozens, hundreds.
At least, you know what I mean? And there's so many of them out there. There's so many of these stories, and they're probably getting these stories and sent to them, and they're like, yeah. That's why they're like, yeah, we have 11 over here, but it's not enough to really say anything. It could be, but it's probably not. So they have 400, actually. 400 that were like, yeah, we'll look into these ones. But the other ones, they were like, nope. That Israeli Defense Ministry guy, nope, they threw him off the desk. Bob Lazar, they threw that off the desk. Corey Good, they threw that off the desk.
It. Avi Loeb, nobody cares.
Yep,
Bob Lazar, nobody cares. Luis Elizondo, nobody cares. To the Stars Academy and their big reveals, nobody cares. None of that is part of this because it's tabloid junk.
Exactly.
There's
that's why
there.
the guy didn't know anything about the nuclear incident and everything because
he's like, did you know
he just didn't want to embarrass
like, no.
He might have gotten it across his desk and he just didn't want to embarrass that guy and be like, that's not real, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, come on. Like me sending you links 5 minutes and I'm like, oh, all right. Yeah, this is tabloid junk. Mm-hmm. It isn't official. It's not a report. It's an anecdote from an elderly man who's basically trying to get a little fame and attention.
Exactly. Actually, like when somebody says, oh, this happened, I just go, bloop, bloop, and I look at a couple of things and I'm like, oh yeah, no, that didn't happen. And it's a tab. I just look at a couple of tabloid sites. I'm like, nope, it didn't happen because it's, yeah,
there's nothing there. And I mean, even they said like, oh, we've got 400 reports. Well, yeah, and they've got the records going right back through everything that was reviewed in Project Blue Book.
Exactly.
And he admits that the brunt of what they have is poor quality testimonials that they can't use to verify the claims.
Exactly.
Like we've been saying forever. Like opinions and testimonials are the argumentative equivalent of a suppository. They're not good for anything, and you can shove them up your ass.
Exactly. All right, let's get this fucking. I don't want to get this fucking do that. Stop that shit. There we go. There we go. Now, pull up another. We'll listen to something else now. Let's get out of this fucking shit. We fucking predicted. We knew exactly what the fuck this should. I mean, we must be psychic or something. When are they going to have a congressional hearings for us psychics that can predict bullshit?
I love that they hold these congressional things and they pull together politicians, which is a real brain trust there. If you rub them all together, you might be able to get an IQ in the double digits. And then you get some Department of Defense guys who are like, okay, we can tell you we have nothing. And the few things we have something on, we can't discuss because it's either our weapon system or someone else's.
Exactly. I want to get a job with these people, with this guy. I want to invest in, be working and get paid a shitload of money to fucking look at all this bullshit. I wonder if they're hiring. Can I get paid to fucking do this?
Well, shit, if congressmen can get paid to go over this kind of stuff, I don't know why I'm doing it for free.
I'm going to go work for the government.
Yeah.
You Did you see that, huh?
Yeah. I just picture you in your suit, you know, sitting up there at the front of the congressional hearing.
We can save the government a whole shitload of money. We just tell them we do this. We do this shit for free for fun.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go. We'll have the. Well, what was that? There was that fake hearing. There was a fake UFO hearing that they staged for a documentary to look like, and Linda Moulton Howe and all of them were in there. It was, I can't remember what it was called, but they staged a fake congressional hearing with some retired congressmen so that they could vent and rant about their UFO stuff, and they were paying them like 10 grand a piece to sit there for a couple hours and get yelled at by UFO nuts. Oh, I should try and look it up. But yeah, I had covered it. It was a fake hearing. They even had a fake, they had a fake seal, official seal on the front of the podium and everything.
Look that up when you get this next. Whoa, what the fuck is going on? Oh boy. This is gonna be good. I haven't seen any of this.
And I'll have to go back through my old catalog and see if I can find it. I must have covered it 4 years ago.
That's a big catalog. I know how you feel. My catalog's just the same way. I gotta try and organize all this shit someday.
I got a secondary account. I really got to start. I had started making a hashtag system for organizing them, so I got to go through and like hashtag and sort all my stuff.
There you go. Yeah, I used to have all the stuff saved on my computer and put it in files and stuff, and then I was like, it's all shit. I'm like, it's just shit, so I just let everything just shit everywhere.
I assembled a bunch of stuff half-assed into an order that I thought I could put together into kind of almost like a picture book of the debunked, with the memes and the stuff I use to break them down and everything. And I've got that kind of half-assed assembled, but then like I was using a laptop from 2009 that finally kicked the bucket. So right now I've got an out-of-date Chromebook and a cheap tablet that I do everything off of with my cell phone. So, but I mean, come on, if I can do if I can blow all this shit apart, yeah, if I can do all of this off a cell phone or off of like the cheapest tablet Amazon has to offer, you know, somebody working with $300 worth of technology can rip all of these nonsensical accounts to pieces, then clearly there's nothing there.
Clearly, we don't need to be spending more money on military budgets.
No, exactly. I don't need military technology. I don't need to pay 30 senators from the House of Representatives to sit in a row and listen to some guys from the Department of Defense making 400 grand a year. Like, we don't need to do all of that because we can take it apart with, you know, under $500 worth of technology and beer.
Yeah, couple of blunts and some beers. It literally takes minutes. Something comes across and I'm like, hold on 1 second, let me just go over here, and I just type a couple of keywords into Google with whatever they want me to type in, and I'm like, oh, it's not real.
I love the response I get from a lot of believers when they get going. They go, well, you can't just use Google. That's not research. Like, all right, I agree. Going just with Google is not research. But here's the problem. If I can just hop on Google and I can type this in, and I can get a bunch of skeptical responses that lay out very rationally a real world possibility for the event we just saw, and then in reviewing that event find that nothing presented there discredits that skeptical criticism, then we have an issue, because I don't have to do any further research to disprove that item, because what we have presented does not adequately dismiss those criticisms. So until those criticisms are concretely eliminated, that item is not unexplainable. And if it is terrestrial explainable, if we can say that's definitely a natural phenomenon from here, or here's how it could have been hoaxed, or here's the camera screw up that could create that image, then I don't have to think aliens. until someone who thinks aliens can tell me why it could only be alien. They could say, well, all right, if we're looking at this camera and we're looking at these specifications under this power setting, under these light conditions, the image we're seeing is impossible because in testing conducted in 2007, it was shown that those cameras can't zoom into that level at this point and produce that image. Then I would be like, whoa, damn, you got me there.
Exactly. We got something
Wow.
there.
All
But
right,
it
then
hasn't
you just
happened
proved
yet.
to me that camera can't film that way.
I'm waiting.
Then it must have been something else. So
waiting
then
for
I
it to
can say,
happen.
wow.
I got a folder on my laptop here with I got a shit folder, and then I got a folder with real shit. And there's nothing in the real shit. I'm waiting to put something in there. You know what I mean? But again, we need to have that actual fucking evidence, verifiable. We need it to be like, oh wow.
Well, you know what I've got, and I always tell people that come onto my posts to give me shit. I say, prove it. I will post the correction. All you have to do is send me the information to review.
Yep,
I may be a foul-mouthed, sarcastic ass, and I will admit that wholly. I am. But if you prove me wrong, I will gladly admit it. I will eat all the crow you can serve. I will hop right on there, and I will look over that information, but I will look over it like a skeptic.
I know you've made
If it
several
is written
corrections.
by a discreditable lunatic, I will tell you it is. If it is completely detached from reality, I will tell you why. If it has been discredited or debunked by another individual that this person had nothing but ad hominem attacks against, I will point it out. I will look at the names involved, the places involved, the dates involved, and if nothing lines up, or if people involved are kooks or run bizarre little new age blogs or something where they think you can communicate with the aliens as long as you're high on DMT and plugged into a 120 volt outlet, I'll point it out. Now, in my correction posts over the years, I have been corrected quite a few times, but I have never been corrected in a way that showed me something paranormal, extraterrestrial, or otherworldly has ever been presented. People have corrected me on chemistry errors. People have corrected me on date place errors or age errors or time errors. These things are all fine. And I will happily go, whoops, I fucked up.
Same thing we've done here.
Here's my correction.
Last week I had to apologize because we was making fun of Silly Billy there and his little sex education thing and stuff. And one of the things they were talking about, but I had to correct it, and they were kind of correct on what they were saying. So I
Yep.
had to say it. There's been a few times, instances like that, like you, we said a date was wrong. Or one time we were talking about giants and stuff, and I said that Robert Ludlow had recently passed, but I was mistaken. I forgot the other guy's name that had recently taller person that had passed away, but I was confusing him with Robert Ludlow. So we made the corrections.
Yeah. Well, I got on our last stream that we did together, I had mentioned something about the 23 ounces for the soul weighing experiment. Well, it wasn't 23 ounces. It was like 0.23.
Yeah.
And I admitted, oops, yeah, I misspoke. I mean, I'm sitting here, I'm smoking and drinking. I don't have all the data in front of me. I probably should. It would be more professional. But I'm just here having fun.
Exactly. That's we really don't need to. If we do need the data, we can pull it up under these conditions that we.
But even then, so what was the correction? The correction was you said the number wrong.
Exactly, but
it still doesn't prove that's how much soul weighs.
Exactly.
Yep.
That shit's funny because it happened right up the street from us. All right, let's wait. We haven't seen this. Somebody, Jilly Bean sent me this, told me that somebody put up this video, so we figured let's have a good laugh and let's see what this fucking idiot had to say when he did a recent live stream. I haven't seen any of it. The skeptic hasn't seen any of it, so we'll watch a little bit of it for a little bit longer before I got to go do some work. All right, let me see here. What the fuck is up with his intro music here? Has he been been hanging out with? Jiggy used to call. He used to say he used to hang out with Jamal and with his two black friends. That's why he's not racist. Oh, he's not racist because that one time he cried because Barack Obama did something bad. Oh shit! Let's see if he cries in this video.
Sounds good.
Oh, the title hit. The Archangel Michael. Oh boy, Valiant Thor. This should be a good video.
Oh boy.
I mean, there's a lot of evidence for all this bullshit.
Hey, welcome everybody. It's David Wilcock. I'm glad to be back with you. And we have an amazing show for today. I'm very excited about what we're going to be talking about.
Well, what are we talking
The subject
about,
for
David?
today is solar cycles, where we are and where we're going.
Is that what the title fucking card said? Anybody? Everybody read it, right? That's what it says right down at the bottom of the screen there. The Archangel Michael, Valiant Thor connection. Yep. Cinematic re-upload part 1. Yep. David Wilcock.
Oh,
yep,
good.
we got that. But now it's about the fucking cosmic connection of the what maybe. What's he talking about?
And why did I choose a subject like this at such an incredibly poignant time? And let me just make sure that you guys are hearing me. Are you guys all hearing me okay? I just want to look at the stream real quick. Is everybody able to hear me? It's always going to tell me there's errors. It's always going to tell me whatever. So
Had to turn you down.
we just kind of know that.
All right, can we get
A
to
dress
the
code. Again, a local copy reported as well. So if there are any huge and terrible interruptions in my live stream, which seems to always happen, then we will just re-upload.
It's because they're out to get you, David. They know you know the truth, David, and they don't want you to tell everybody.
The blue
That's why-
chickens do not want the word out.
That's why you record it and you re-upload it again later on, and nothing happens to that recording. Because if they were really trying to stop you, they wouldn't let you upload it all. You dumb fuck.
Well, look, the government can only stop you once. Any try after that, that's on you. You were supposed to give up.
You're just a persistent fuck, aren't you, David Wilcock?
The full version later on. But I wanted to tell you guys, most of all, the biggest thing is that I am genuinely not worried about what is happening in the world right now. Hi, David. Your hair looks great.
He is so not worried that he had to put it on screen. He took the time to make this to let you know that he is genuinely not worried about what is happening. Wow. I mean, I guess we're going to have to believe that he's not worried. But
I'm fucking soothed.
I am.
I'm so soothed. This is just like a warm blanket of knowledge, just
I got butterflies in my
enveloping
stomach.
me. I mean, if you could see me under my mask, I am flush with comfort.
Now let's see how much shit he's worried about when he starts really talking.
Ray Super Nard, is that really your name? Super Nard? Is that like your balls are big or something? Thanks, Ray.
What the fuck?
You see, before he had my attention, but now he's got my interest. Now we've got super nards. Could these super nards be part of the UAP we have all been just learning about from Congress? The unidentified ass pussy. And I wait to see what role the super nards will play in this adult-oriented UAP phenomenon.
Yes, he's going to brief us on the super nards.
If you run too fast, do the super nards hit you in the UAP? We might need alien
So we can go
technology.
through
to
many
control super nards.
details. Bottom line is that we are now very, very close to.
I'm
Does he
so
not know
glad
people
he
have-
included oversized captions.
I was just going to say, does he not know people that if they wanted that closed caption, you can just add them to any video.
Yeah, I mean, in this mask, I can actually see quite well, but that's basically the YouTube equivalent of Braille.
Is he going to do this for everything he says?
I
all
guess
of the
so.
good things that I've been telling you to expect is going to come out of this terrifying situation. As you know, I've had a website since 1999. I've been publicly talking about this since 1996 online.
Unfortunately, I know.
And so that's over 25 years now, 26 years.
And you know what? How many things has he ever gotten right?
I'm still waiting.
Yeah.
There's got to be one.
I stop waiting. I stop waiting. He's never gonna. Nothing's gonna be right.
That I've been doing this as a public figure, and during that time, I've never gotten caught in any real scandals of any kind. There's people that love to say hateful things about me, but I have stayed in monogamous relationships. I've not ripped people off. I've not devastated people's hearts, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Whoa.
I'm very glad to know he's monogamous. You know, it really helps me. It really helps me to know that that he's only ever, you know, fucked his audience.
Pretty much. That's where I was going with that one.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
Great mind, right?
He's never fucked anybody besides his wife, but he fucks his audience all the fucking time. And then
Well,
you
that's
can go down the
monogamy
list
because
of
it's
times
all
that he's fucking.
consensual.
I mean, how many schemes and scams has this fucking dude been involved in?
Well, at least he's not selling detoxing foot baths that I know of.
You know right away when somebody starts off a video when they're sitting there saying, "Oh, I've never been involved with anything." You know they're involved with everything that they're talking about. That's a huge red flag right there when they're like, "Yeah, they're gonna tell you that I've been doing some stuff, but I haven't been doing it. I'm not involved in any of that stuff."
I should start my videos with, you know, you can trust the bitter skeptic because he's completely monogamous. You know, that, you know, it's just me and my wife, except for when I fuck bad facts. But, you know, my wife and I have an understanding when it comes to fucking misinformation.
So maybe hold up here. He's saying that he's monogamous in a relationship. Does that mean that Elizabeth was stepping out? I don't know.
Ooh. Well, that's the kind of read between the lines, deep thinking that he supports. So
I would have to say, if we start looking at the puzzles pieces here that he's putting down on the table, I'm thinking that's what he's putting out there in the universe.
You're right. It's more about what he's not
I'm feeling those
doing.
vibes. I get the frequencies.
It's a cover-up.
Etc. So
Watch him. He ends up telling everybody that Elizabeth was a deep state plant, and try to infiltrate him, and he figured it out. After how many years was he married? I forget.
That's them super nards.
my point in saying all this is that my goal in being here is to try to provide you with a sense of certainty about the future. I don't want you to feel so afraid about what's going on. I don't want you to feel like the world is ending. I know that
Who is he
How come
talking
that
to?
wasn't a slide? How come we didn't get the I want you to be secure in the future?
Is the only people who listen to this stuff are people who are like, I don't even know how to put it, like like just real desperate, like they'll believe anything right now, just to believe in anything at all, and so they listen to this fucking dude right here, this mouse-looking guy, because he's monogamous, so you can believe that. That's it. That's the other thing is he's trying to, with the monogamy thing, he's gonna flip completely Christian fucking evangelical. He's gonna build a church and shit and get up and start preaching fucking soon. I'm telling you, it's coming any fucking time. More and more he puts the fucking Jesus shit and this little fucking nods to the Bible and fucking things like this and like the Christian fucking faith and life and everything. So he's like, yeah, I was monogamous because, you know, I'm a good Christian man. So I see it. It's gonna happen. He's gonna have to flip that way because people are gonna fucking not listen to this bullshit.
Well, don't we already have JP from Grandma's Boy over on Fact Seekers there already telling us that the aliens are just demons and Nephilim anyway?
Yeah. They're giants. He learned about it from
I don't know.
Sunday school.
I didn't hear it right, but maybe I would if I had robot ears.
It seems that way, but once you start to perceive the greater levels of information, the spiritual reality that we're living in, and the understandings that the spiritual reality provides us, then we start to arrive at some sort of positive understanding here.
Oh man, this is 2 fucking hours long.
So let's talk about the biggest
let's
signpost,
talk
because
about
obviously this is nothing that anybody doesn't know. It's on everybody's mind right now. All this crazy stuff that's going on. The first one.
The first one is Netflix.
Netflix, crypto, and housing collapse. So did he miss 2008? Did he miss the housing collapse, and like crypto shit has gone up and down since it started?
But Netflix out of all, because Netflix is going to shit the bed, so the world is ending, everybody. Don't worry about it, though. You don't have to worry, because the spiritual reality told me it's okay.
Well, it's a good thing the spiritual reality told him it was okay, and it's a good thing he's monogamous to tell me that the biggest signpost is fucking Netflix.
That's number one on there. It's not like it doesn't say crypto housing collapse. Netflix. It's Netflix. The biggest thing that people are worried about is Netflix, and then crypto and a housing collapse. Okay, let's see what other signposts
would be, of course.
I don't know why those are all together in the same thing, because they're 3 different things, completely different things, separate from each other. Like they should be they should be their own little bullet point. They're not all lumped into one thing at the top there.
I guarantee you, the only way he puts this all together is through the argumentative technique known as the gift gallop, where you just throw bullshit out there, bullshit after bullshit after bullshit, until there's so much out in the ether, no one has time to debunk it all.
Exactly. That's it. He's going to put all this up, and he's going to fucking jump around between all these things, so nobody knows what's going on. By the end of the video, they'll be like, "Wow, this guy's pretty good."
Yeah, exactly. He said all of that. Wow.
Holy shit. He really knows his stuff.
The collapse of Netflix that happened not too long ago, it actually went down 35% in a short period. It bounced back a little bit, but this is a very intense negative statement for the future of a lot of traditional businesses. The bottom line seems to be that because the economy is so bad that people are now saying that even something like $15 is better off saved than watching these networks. And so this actually has a very destabilizing effect upon the entire system. And you'll also notice
no, there's just 35,000 other streaming services, so they're like, I don't really need Netflix because I watch this other one more. Or they're like, you got
like the Roku channel for free, you got Tubi for free, you got YouTube for free.
You got all these things that are free also.
Yeah,
and then
TV
also
free.
He's failing to mention that the stock dropped after Netflix said you're not going to be able to share your password anymore.
Yeah. Well, and let's face it, Netflix is like every freaking channel out there is putting out their own streaming service.
Mm-hmm.
So you want CBS? Well, you got to go get the CBS one, and all the CBS stuff is now no longer available on Netflix.
On Disney, it's not available on Netflix.
HBO and Warner, well, that's all on HBO. You can't see any of that on Netflix now. You want anything to do with Marvel? Well, then you have to go get Disney Plus because none of that's on Netflix now. So in a world of infinite choice, the least valuable company has less to offer. So does Netflix have the biggest catalog? Yes. Do they have a lot of turds? Yes. Netflix originals, it's basically like flipping a coin. Is it going to be shit or is it going to be good? I think the last Netflix original that I enjoyed was Polar.
I don't even really watch shit like that. My kids are usually watching YouTube.
Yeah, well, that's
I
just
got
it.
all these streaming
They're on
services and we
YouTube.
watch YouTube.
Tubi has more stuff that I like. I watch Tubi way more often.
Yeah. So
I still have Netflix because my elderly mom enjoys some rerun shows on there that she likes to watch.
So, according to David Wilcock here, Netflix. If Netflix goes away, I guess the world ends.
Well, once Netflix is gone, that's when the valiant Thor can rise with the Archangel Michael, and they're going to lead the Blue Chicken to help guide us towards the great ascension. You know, when Space Jesus will come down and bless his church.
Yes, the sun will skeet its plasma all over everybody, and they'll go to the prison planets.
Then finally, we will all have large balls.
Yes, super nards for everyone.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like Netflix was gonna go away or not be so big anyway. It was the first one to do it. It's can't stay on top. Even Amazon knows. Amazon knows that like we're doing this until the next guy can come and get. We know we're not going to be doing this forever and be the number one forever and stuff like that. They're like we could try, but it's not. It doesn't happen with anything. You know what I mean? So for them to be worried that oh no Netflix, oh no, like that's why when everybody was like oh no GM's going to go away. Oh well, GM, we still got cars, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, a lot of people have jobs and stuff, but those people can go and get jobs at other places making other cars. They don't have to make GM cars. They can make other cars or whatever, you know? So it's the same thing with Netflix. Those people can go and work at other streaming services now that we have so many streaming services. Netflix was the first one on the scene, but now it's in a world where it couldn't stay the only one doing it and the number one doing it in the industry that it is. With television and all that, because it comes back to networks. So to think that just shows you how fucking stupid this dude is.
It's mind-boggling.
There, that I had mentioned the crypto. Of course, that's something that is a very, very big subject right now. If you
smart people know that it's a fucking giant fucking pyramid scheme, basically.
Yeah, who didn't think crypto was a pyramid scheme?
Just
was it a great way to make money while it was on the rise? Yeah, but there's nothing holding it up. And I love everybody likes to point out to me, oh, well, there's nothing backing regular money, so it's just as good. No. Because if everything goes wrong tomorrow and money was worth nothing and I had a pile of cash, I could still burn the fucking cash to get a fire going. You know, it still has a utility as a physical object, no matter what. I can stuff a roll of quarters in a sock and go bonk someone over the head to steal their can of beans. You know, it still has a utility. But if everything went to hell in some kind of grand apocalyptic scenario, your crypto won't keep you warm, and your crypto can't be used to bonk someone on the head for a can of beans. You'll be out there trading that
laptop at somebody.
You got in your shorts to try and get them beans.
They can hit their laptop, somebody with their laptop.
Yeah, there we go. I'm going to put the hard drive that has my crypto wallet in a bag, and I'm going to go bonk someone in the head.
The NFTs, that's the next biggest fucking thing. And watch, he's going to say that. I bet you that's on his list.
Oh, I'm sure. And NFTs, that was the biggest scam that ever went the moment it started.
Paying attention to this, there are huge problems going on with cryptocurrency. Bitcoin dipped below the $30,000 support price. In certain marketing analyses, technical analysis, you look at a support point. 30,000 was definitely a support point. So for it to dip below that would involve a very...
When the fuck did he become a stockbroker? God damn, this dude.
I must have missed it. I haven't been following his website. I'll admit it wholeheartedly. I have not been. I must have missed his financial reports and his economics reports. That's on me.
I mean, during my day trading, I just totally missed it. Didn't know. This guy is just, he's got a whole portfolio of things that he knows.
Yep. His Netflix stocks are down, his crypto's down. He's not happy. So it's got to be bringing a god back to life.
He's monogamous and lonely now. His Netflix stock is down. His crypto's going to shit. His whole, but he's telling everybody, don't worry.
Yeah.
That's usually the thing with these spiritual people. You look around them, the village is burning down behind them and stuff, and they're like, don't worry, everything's cool. I heard from the trees and the spirits and everything that it's all cool.
Yeah.
You just gotta stay and don't worry about things, you know what I mean? Let the spirits guide us. Is the boat sinking?
Very massive sell-off of crypto, over $1 billion of sell-off. And what's also interesting is that the top 100 crypto wallets of Bitcoin and the like are actually taking in a lot more right now. So they seem to be, whoever the top fat cats are, seem to be anticipating that it's going to go back up, and they're buying the dip. So this looks like a deliberate targeted attack. And part of what it's intended to do is to create desperation, to create fear, to create anger, sadness, pain. If you invested in crypto and you feel as if all of your money is gone, I wouldn't yet draw a post-moratorium on your financial future just based on what's happening right now. This is what everybody likes to do. This is the classic problem. It's the crash.
Another thing with crypto is the same thing with Netflix. Is they come on with Bitcoin or whatever the first one, and then now there's all these different fucking coin things and everything, and not everybody takes all these different coins and stuff, and people are getting fucking tricked into fucking, oh yeah, buy my coins and everything. Yeah, it's the best thing to buy. So it's the same thing. Look at me, I'm a stockbroker now too.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to take financial advice from a. I don't even want to call him a UFO expert. I don't want to take financial advice from a lunatic online.
Good choice. Let's see if he gets in there. He just talks forever.
Well, yeah, the video's like 3 hours long.
To risk the full ire of their population, which they don't seem to really care about, because look at France. If France hasn't told you that the idea of casting ballots is essentially a relic, then nothing will. So yes, I do still believe in midterms here in America. I do still strongly, very strongly encourage you to vote. At the same time, there's nothing that really indicates that this fraud has stopped or even abated. And
hold up a minute.
Did we skip an hour of video? What just happened?
We only no. I skipped up ahead like 3-4 minutes and stuff, so we missed a little bit. But did he just say to go out and vote, Mister? The government is evil. Don't trust the government. Don't trust the mainstream media. It's the deep state. They're working against everybody. They enslave the planet and keep the spirits away and the aliens away and all this stuff.
He just said go out and vote, but he also said that your vote doesn't count because of the fraud. So is he pushing the big lie, like the election fraud conspiracy crap now?
Yeah. Well, he has been the whole time secretly. He doesn't go too big into it because he doesn't like getting caught up in all that stuff. But yeah, he's a fan of fucking Agent Orange.
For this.
Former fucking idiot.
Any less. So with that in mind, we really do want to be clear about what we're going for here as a planet. What are our goals? And so when we're looking at all these things, there are different layers to the perspective. And some of the layers are just really scary. There's a way of looking at this in which the aggressor country that I just had in this bullet point is simply chaotic evil. It's all crazy. It's all evil. He just wants to hurt Europe. He just wants to hurt this country. There's nothing good about this. He's a sadist. He's a monster. He's a dictator. He's Mussolini, Stalin, Hitler, fascist. Okay. Some people, that's as far as it goes. But then to deny that there is an alternative narrative that people are talking about is to deny reality. And that's what the usual suspects have been trying to do. They don't want you to hear about these things. They don't want you discussing these things. They very aggressively try to stop you from talking about these things. So what do we got next on my magic list here? We have good old Uncle Elon, you know, and I was admittedly
exposing bots. This dude here got more bots fucking subscribed to his channel than fucking I think that Billy Carson actually has on YouTube. He's got, because David's got more subscribers than Billy does on here. On Instagram, Billy has the most though. But he wants to
Billy
talk
paid
about
for the
bots.
best amount of subscribers.
This dude has so many bots watching his fucking shit that he paid for and subscribed to his channel. It's not even fucking funny. He was in there with the Edge of Wonder Boys and shit. They got all caught up with the bot scams and shit like that. Where the fuck did Edge of Wonder Boys go?
distrustful of this at first. I didn't get all that excited about it. And I still don't know if I really trust the guy because, to be quite honest with you, the unique digital identifier to participate in social media, it sounds awfully close to microchipping. And I just want to make sure that this identifier does not involve anything in your body. Okay, let's just be very clear on this. And I do think that it's important for people not to have.
He's like, I don't mind carrying around with me everywhere I go. Like you know, more than I worry about my wallet, but if it's going in my body, there's only one place I want it to go.
So we've got anti-government conspiracy, we've got financial conspiracy, we've got big lie election conspiracy, we've got alien conspiracy, we've got some kind of evil war economic conspiracy tied in with financial advice and microchipping.
And we're only 12 minutes into this video.
So remember when I said Gish Gallop?
That's what I was just gonna point out. I'm like, he's Gish galloping all over the place.
Like this is all over the place. I have trouble believing that when these people go to edit these things, that when they look over their footage, they stop and think to themselves, wow, I sounded great, so rational, so authoritative. There is no way anyone could look at this and think to myself, I wonder if he's been taking his medication.
He's got a horse name. Gish, and he tells it to gallop. He's riding this horse right now.
Oh man, this is the UFO equivalent of hearing Mike Lindell speak.
Now, just really to get into the topic of the whole Netflix thing, it took us more than 5 minutes to just kind of roughly brush into it. And he's already off of that and on to fucking like 17 other topics.
Yeah.
And he's only on the second bullet point, too.
Oh.
I feel so informed.
I'm enlightened. I feel as though my third eye has opened. Unfortunately, it's not in my forehead. It's located further south, below the equator.
I was just going to say, my third eye is opening. I may have to run to the bathroom.
Have so much anonymity online, at least within certain frameworks where people can discuss and feel safe. I mean, the deep state apparently very deliberately built the internet. They very deliberately built these social media platforms off of this concept of social control. And so by creating a wide...
Where's the evidence of this?
So the deep state built the internet. The internet.
Yeah, the internet. Yep, they built the internet.
Chaotic
This way.
mishmash of nothing with advertisements. And the deep state built social media. So the deep state was responsible for MySpace, and the deep state made
Oh, I really like
Twitter, and the deep state made So nobody talked about the deep state until, like the what was it, the 2016 election? Like Trump's election, like that. No, I hadn't heard any of this deep state crap until
they've
Hillary
been
Clinton
saying
was
it.
running.
He's been saying deep state for a long time before that. It was
Oh,
probably the
wow.
early 2000s and stuff. So
This is
that's when it got bigger. It's been, I forget what year and stuff. We traced it back, and I don't want to get the
So
dates wrong and stuff.
is this just the new cabal now? Is that what this is?
Yeah, it's the new version of the deep state, the cabal. It's kind of a mix of all these things together. It's like who the fuck knows what it is now? Because again, when he tries to explain it, it's the Jews, and it's and it's the Germans, it's the Nazis are somehow involved with the Jewish people, and I don't know, and the U.S. government and aliens, and then there's
It's the same old on repeat.
yeah.
The same crap that's been cycling since Henry Ford was ranting it. Like,
Yeah, well, now we got look at what's happening.
this is Protocols of the Elders of Zion for the New Age.
Yeah, and we got the replacement theory, freaking idiots all over the place, and you got the Buffalo incidents, and then it's gonna just keep on happening because these idiots like this just keep on talking about stupid shit like it's fucking real. These things are real. The deep state.
Yeah, he offers nothing to support anything he has said. He just says it.
No, it says. Well, he puts up a little, nice little thing so you can read it.
I'm reminded of the sleazy Netflix cartoon Big Mouth. And there's a sequence in there where the one of the monster characters in there is making some crude analogy towards something, and when the kid asks him, "Well, is that real?" and he says, "Well, hey, I'm talking about it, and you're picturing it." So, and that's the logic we have here. Is it real? Well, I'm talking about it, and you're picturing it, so it must be real.
Yeah.
It's
We
the
just
secret.
brought it into the universe.
Yes,
I mean, in that sense,
manifested it.
in that sense, like, yeah, okay, cool. I just imagine that I built a new crazy fucking technology that can take us to the moon in fucking, a couple of minutes. You know what I mean? I just imagine it. But now to actually make that come to fruition and everything, like, that's the whole nother fucking story. You can imagine purple-headed dragons and all the whatever, or fucking green aliens and shit. It doesn't make it fucking real.
Yeah.
That's what these people don't understand. Like, I imagine there's a deep state controlling all this stuff because I'm just a scared little guy that's afraid of everything. Even though I'm telling you I'm not worried, that's just the biggest fucking red flag in the world that I'm over here worrying the fucking... I'm worried so bad.
Worried, but here's all the things
so bad he's outside
about.
talking to turkeys and shit, dude. Yeah, you should see the video last week, show last week where I showed him talking to turkeys, and oh yeah, he's got a whole fucking life story for these turkeys and shit.
Wild.
Yep. And now he's here telling us important news about not to be worried about this news though. But he's got to tell you about all this bad stuff, but don't worry about this bad stuff.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's fine.
Everything is fine. The spirit reality world told me it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, Dave, well, that makes good sense. Let me keep on listening to this.
Wild West with total lawlessness, it leads to suicide, it leads to depression, it leads to a general malaise in the public where you go out there and you try to be creative, you try to do something, and you just want some love. You just want some other people to appreciate you. And then you get this crazy, crazy stuff that people say. And you could probably, we could probably read one right now, right? Probably something right now. Well, David, maybe so, but hungry people do what they have to do to eat. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, if you're hungry, you're going to do what you have to do.
Well, he knew that there wasn't going to be anything bad in there because he has it so that none of that stuff comes up. Because you could go and say something right now on this thing if he was live, and it would disappear real quick.
Yeah. This guy is the.
We've done
is
it
the
before.
king
We've
of a
actually done it
rambling
before. We watched
segue.
him live, and I commented on the thing and said like, yeah, I forget, I don't remember what I said. I can't say but I was like, oh, that's not true, probably, and whatever. And then boom, it just disappeared.
Yep.
I get that.
But if he's talking about like internet trolls and bullying and stuff like that, stuff has been around since the fucking beginning of time. Somebody's been a fucking asshole to somebody else because fucking assholes unfortunately exist in the human fucking race.
Yeah.
We all got one, so eventually somebody was like, I'm gonna be one. You know what I mean? You got people who think they're cats, and people think they're cats and lizards and dogs and whatever, and somebody was like, fucking, oh, fuck it, I'm an asshole.
Yeah.
So,
But when Elon actually made this purchase, the real way that I was able to tell that something is actually significant is the lady doth protest too much, right? It's a little bit too, they're a little bit too upset about it. They're very, very, very upset about it. And now an incredibly fascinating thing has happened, which is that
who is they?
Yeah.
I've
And he's
always
acting
wondered
like-
who the fuck is they? They are very upset about who's upset about it.
For all the so-called complaints about Elon buying Twitter, well, it's just a rehash of the same complaints we got when Bezos bought the Washington Post.
Mm-hmm.
It's the should billionaires control the media? And I'm like, did you guys forget Rupert Murdoch? This is nothing new. Did you guys forget William Randolph Hearst? This is nothing new. Did you guys forget Ted Turner?
Yeah,
Billionaires have always owned the media. Newspaper magnates and media moguls have been a thing since the 1800s. Like, let's not play stupid and pretend that the wealthy haven't had a hand in anything that makes money. Like, come on.
No, it's they. It's the evil cabal.
And they think, and they this. Ah, yes, they. A world domination company. I know who you're talking.
Yes.
This is like a rejected script from Inside Job.
Hey, wait a minute. Maybe that's why these checks they keep coming in the mail, because on the signature it says they. Maybe that's why the bank won't cash them.
Ugh.
Damn it. That's all right. I still got my Soros money.
Well, yeah. I was told I get paid by Soros, and I'm like, well, then he's really fucking behind on his checks. Like,
Yeah, we've been saying it for years. What the fuck is that Soros money?
yeah. Where's my Illuminati payments? I'm not getting shit.
I could really use some of that money right now. I need some Jeep parts. I need some upgrades on my Jeep. You know?
I had a guy going off on me one day about I was apparently a Freemason shill. And I laughed because my wife's grandfather was a lodge grandmaster. And I mean, like, these weren't world domineering people. This was a senior citizen drinking club.
Yes, this is like the fucking Flintstones and the Lodge of the fucking Water Buffalo.
Like this was more like the stonecutters from The Simpsons, where they're all just sitting there drinking beer, and like it had nothing to do with any kind of secret anything. It was
it's the excuse to get out of the house.
Charitable group that didn't do a lot of charity.
You know, now we have a lot more reasons to get out of the house and stuff. But back in the day, they had to have some, little club. Oh, I gotta go to my club.
Yeah.
We're doing some secret stuff there. Yeah, I can't tell you about it. And,
Yeah, we all got drunk and played ping pong.
Yeah, the secret stuff is you're not there.
Yeah, exactly.
he's put the deal on.
Like anybody can be a Freemason. There's fucking billboards all over the fucking place around here. Join Freemasons today. Call. Click the link. Well, not click the link. There's actual QR code up there now on one of them. But it's got the link to go.
Just to see if I could do it, I became a third-degree Knight of Columbus in the Catholic Church in a 35-minute ceremony.
But wait a minute. KRS-One, he's a 33rd degree Mason, so.
Yeah. I'm a third-degree Knight of Columbus. There's only 4 degrees in the Knight of Columbus. I'm 1 step from the maximum you can be. And I got it by attending a ceremony because they were so desperate for new members, they'd take anyone.
You could become a minister online in fucking 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, my sister did it.
Yeah, then you can marry people.
Yeah, she's an ordained minister, and she's going to get her justice of the peace so she can do weddings through the Universal Life Church.
Yeah, there you go. I'll listen to a few more minutes of this fucker.
Hold, barring the proof of how many of the alleged users are in fact not real people but fabricated and controlled by a much smaller number. You've heard the term bots. Okay, well, now it's looking like that might be 10 to 15%. And I will say this, after the 2016 election in the,
I forgot what his percentage was when I looked into his and stuff like I did with Billy and everything. But it wasn't good, David. It wasn't good. Your amount of your ghost followers, as they would call it, and which means bots or fucking people who clicked on you one time and then never clicked on you again. But it wasn't good. You had like a couple thousand real subscribers, and then the rest were all fucking not real.
Well, and they talk about this like oh well, these bots, like this is new. This has been going on since like 2014, 2016. Like
the bots was a problem with like AOL Instant Messenger and shit.
Yeah, NBC News. I've got the article up on my tablet here right now. Was whining in 2018, July 9th, 2018. The article says Twitter purging millions of fake accounts has investors spooked. Yep. Like the bot problem is nothing new. We all know about the bot problem. I got offered again today the chance to get 10,000, an additional 10,000 followers in my Instagram account for $150. 10,000 functioning accounts that will like and comment.
Yep.
So anytime you look in comments and you see things that are commenting with just an emoji, those are bot accounts.
But spam and bot accounts go back to, like I'm saying, like go back to AOL Instant Messenger and shit like that.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah.
It's not a new problem with the internet. Like,
No, I mean, come on. This goes back to when they used to send you you are a finalist in the Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes. Just send us.
Now, I see where Elon Musk's standpoint is on it because he's buying it based on the users and everything like that, as actual users and stuff. I could see it on his point, or anybody who was purchasing a company like that. You'd want to know why, and then you'd want to know why is there so many bots on there? Because I could see some companies be like pumping up their numbers by just putting their own bots on there.
Well, and the thing is, Elon knows too. Elon complained about this years ago on Twitter.
Yeah. I think the whole thing was Elon trying to prove a point here, and he's not. That's why he's doing everything he can now to just not do it to prove his point about bots and this is a problem, and he's going to come out with a whole new thing like blah blah.
You know what Elon's problem is? He's buying a platform that hasn't made money in 10 years. He just realized it doesn't make money, that people won't pay a fee to use it, and that he was buying it based on a certain amount of guaranteed value from his Tesla shares that are overvalued and that plummeted as soon as he announced he would be doing less with the company because he would be distracted by Twitter.
Yep.
So his wealth took a massive hit the moment he said, oh yeah, I'd buy Twitter. Yeah, there's a lot of Elon stans out there that are like, oh yeah, Elon will do it and he'll be the man and he'll fix it and he'll this and he'll that. He hasn't done that with any of the companies he has.
None of them.
You know, like Tesla isn't a profitable company. SpaceX was nearly bankrupt last year. The Boring Company is a joke. It doesn't do anything.
It's boring.
It digs small culverts in the ground that need a human-driven electric taxi driving slowly through them. He told us they were supposed to go 400 kilometers an hour or whatever through these goddamn things. Nothing happens. He's Flash. Every time I see him, I always think of the film The Aviator. I don't know if you've ever watched The Aviator.
Yeah.
It was a biopic based on the life of Howard Hughes. And Howard Hughes was essentially a con artist who lived government contract to government contract, subsidy to subsidy, juggling debt through different banks and different loans under the pretense of wealth. When he died, he was basically starved to death by his Mormon entourage with rotten teeth because he was living off of sweets because no one would tell him no. With a severe codeine addiction. So much for the world's most brilliant aviator and inventor.
It's like Tesla.
Yeah. Yeah, he bought an existing electric car company, put his name on it as a founder, drove out the original founders, and produces an extremely poor quality electric car that only has 1% of the US auto market and is massively overvalued. I mean, okay, it's a meme stock. I get it.
He's a brutal businessman, like his father was over there with his fucking diamond mines. That's how he started. He had mommy and daddy's fucking diamond mine money and stuff, and he just like gets these ideas and he wants to do these things and stuff, but he doesn't do it. Everyone's like, "Oh, he's so smart, he's so brilliant, he does all this stuff. Look at this." No, he's not.
No, and his company is famous for, like, Tesla has one of the worst workplace safety ratings. And Tesla has some of the worst reports of employee, basically, abuse, racism, sexism, like the whole gambit's run in there. Apparently the place is basically like a racist frat house. So, yeah, okay. Elon basically runs things like an apartheid emerald mine.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much,
I mean,
he
where
pays
would he have
actual
learned
scientists, he pays actual engineers and stuff to do this stuff. It's like, yeah, I want to go to Mars. You guys are pretty smart. Here's some money and stuff. Let's go to Mars. And he's like, hey, yeah, I'm going to take us to Mars. And then everybody's like, yeah, Elon's so smart. He's going to take us to Mars. And meanwhile, these dudes are slaving away back here. Literally, like, day and night and fucking doing all this stuff, and Elon's just like, yeah, cool, I'm gonna go and
and even if you watch some of his interviews, he basically goes, oh yeah, on Mars, the radiation is it's fatal, and you can't really live on the surface, and space travel's really hard on humans getting them that far, and we got Starship, but we haven't figured the toilets out yet, and we're still having problems with the toilets on the Dragon capsule, and we haven't actually put a Starship into space yet, but we're going to be flying, 24 of those a year to Mars, and we're going to have space tourism. All right, good. Where are we sending people to space?
Whatever he builds on Mars.
There's still that one company claiming they're going to have the Von Braun space station open by 2024. The concept isn't even proven.
Just like David Wilcox, I bet you he probably mentions it. Actually, I don't know. He might mention it, but I haven't heard him mention it. His fucking hover car, so they're gonna take you around the world in 8 minutes.
Well, I had a guy this morning send me again the damned Stan Meyer water car again. Like, people are still going on that Stanley Meyer had a working water car when he was a convicted fraudster who never showed that car running or driving to anyone. And when he was required to present it in court, refused. And his patents were reviewed by university experts in engineering who looked at it and said, this is a non-functioning hydrolysis cell. There is nothing inventive here. And when he died of a cerebral aneurysm, and everybody screamed he was poisoned, but it was a cerebral aneurysm, people are still like, oh, they killed him to hide his water car. Well, his patents were never maintained. They went into the public trust. They're free online. No automotive manufacturer or anyone has ever employed a patent invented by Stan Meyer because there's nothing there. It doesn't work.
That's what I was just going to say. Nobody's ever been. Anybody can get this patent online. Anybody can see this stuff. And nobody's ever done it. Just like all these. The patent for the Nazi, the bell and stuff, and all these things and stuff, and all these plans are out there for Tesla's secret stuff and to do this stuff, but yet nobody's ever done it.
Yeah, yet here we are with using electric cars that more or less are no different than the ones that were produced in the 1920s and 30s. Okay, we've got better batteries now, but I mean, the range isn't that much different. The charge time isn't any better.
Yeah,
If anything, the cars look cooler then.
I don't know. My Jeep's pretty badass. My Jeep is pretty badass. I would take my Jeep over a 1920s four-wheel vehicle. Now,
Well,
maybe if you move up, if they had like an electric Jeep in the 1940s when they came out, the original ones came out, but by then they didn't have them. So, you know, but yeah, for electric vehicles and being able to do what I could do in a Jeep, that's fucking awesome.
Well, I know an individual out here that bought an electric car. It wasn't a Tesla. I disremember what the exact model was. But at any rate, they were going on about how much it was going to save them and how much they were going to be able to do and all the traveling they were going to be able to do, only to discover that the battery range dropped by over 50% when it's below minus 25. So all of a sudden, like, well, the car can only go barely half as far, and you can't trust the range meter in the winter.
Nope.
And here we hit the minus 40s, minus 50s.
Yeah.
So
And
these
it won't
things
be-
have
that's
trouble,
too
like
cold,
the
it
heat
won't.
would shut off in the cold, and she wouldn't be able to see out the windows. And the battery couldn't be relied on to stay properly charged. And even just plugging it in on a regular outlet, she couldn't get enough charge some nights to even get home. So her husband's coming to pick her up in his diesel truck. And I'm thinking, like, what a waste of money. I mean, these things might be great in the southern U.S. or something where it's nice and warm, but bring them up north here where it's minus 45 for 6 months of the year. I mean,
Even
that
here, I lose my range.
It isn't that cold here all the time, but we get stretches.
Well, see, actually, I'm noticing the opposite because I bought mine in the winter and I'm like, oh, yeah, all right, cool, 20, 25 miles, like they said. And I'm like, all right, but now that it's getting warmer, I'm like, cool, 28, 30, that's much better. But
Yeah.
I know it's going to drop again in the winter, but we don't get as cold as you get. So
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about it. Down here, it's all right, it's practical. But up there, you know, they'll get it eventually, you know, as the technology gets better and everything.
Yeah.
So. But I'm just glad I don't have to drive a Tesla and shit, and I'm saving so much money. I really do save a bunch of money on gas because I drive more than half on electric, and we have solar, so it doesn't cost us shit.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
So, you know, the only thing that I'm costing myself is what I do when I take it off road, and so
Yeah.
or upgrades.
Wild.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take it on a trip up there. I have to look and see. I don't know if there's any Jeep Badge of Honor trails up in Canada. I know.
I don't have anything that I know of in my area that's registered, but I know of a bunch of abandoned quarries.
Yeah, that would be cool. But I want to travel around and get all the Jeep Badges of Honors. So
Oh, yeah.
I know there's some going all the way down to like South America. There's some Mexico and stuff, and all over the United States. I think there might be a few in Canada.
There are probably some for sure, yeah. Well, I would be sure Alberta and stuff around the Badlands.
Yeah, probably. I'll have
Probably
to
around
look on it.
Drumheller or something like that.
All right. Fucking smoking the last blunt, and then fucking watch a little more of this fucking guy. Let's see how many more times he jumps around the map, like fucking Charlie and fucking Always Sunny in Philadelphia. There.
Yep.
2017 is when there was the inauguration. It all began. In that first year of 2017, Twitter was just an absolute avalanche of hatred against the globalists, the deep state, and the left. That's all there was, folks.
I guess he didn't follow any, regular people who were just tweeting random crap, like, gonna go get a Diet Coke.
I guess, he only pays attention to bullshit.
Yeah, this guy never followed Welcome to Night Vale or something like that, or, it's still a piñata even if it's full of spiders.
It's the deep state, the deep state flooded and everything. Could it just be that what was happening with Agent Orange fucking taking office and all the dumb shit that he was fucking saying, that everybody was actual rational logical people were like, no, this is bullshit. This is complete bullshit.
Well, I'd say what we see here is a perfect example of filter bubble.
No, but no, that was the deep state. It wasn't, actual, normal, rational, logical people who.
No, we have to have a conspiracy. It can't be a shopping-oriented algorithm that just drives engagement by giving you things it knows that you'll react to.
It's the deep state, man.
It's the deep state, man.
Watch out for the deep
It's
state.
not a bargain basement AI.
It's really deep.
Deep
State.
There, and it was exciting and it was amazing.
Now, if I I'm gonna go a little conspiracy thing. Is he a devil or is that an angel halo above him?
Yeah.
Trying to tell us something here?
Maybe he's just so bright that some of his brightness extrudes outside of that dome of his.
It's his aura, just radiating
It's
out.
his aura, yeah. It's blue, so it's depressed. It's sad aura because of his Netflix stock.
Yeah, he's no longer able to share his password per the divorce agreement with Elizabeth. So he doesn't know what he's going to do about that. The judge is upset. That's why he's depressed about Netflix. He doesn't get his Netflix password now.
Yeah.
Amazing. And if anybody said anything that was against 45, holy crap, did they get pounded.
So
Well, that sounds like a description of a porno.
So the deep state did some pounding. There was pounding deep going on deep in the state.
Yeah, as long as you're over 45.
Yes.
That was the middle-age pounding.
A lot of pounding from the deep state.
Hard pounding, deep 45. I swear that's got to be the title of a MILF porn.
It probably is.
I mean, it was incredible. Twitter was like so intense. It was like a big rally. And I think the reason why is that this represented the opinions of the mainstream and the whole conservative movement really.
So a whole bunch of people with some rational, logical opinions about situation that was going on. They were bots. Those were some pretty rational and logical fucking bots.
I'm on an article right now that is 100 genius tweets from 2017 that broke the 100,000 retweet barrier.
Those are fucking genius bots.
It's joke memes. It's dogs in a t-shirt. It's, people with pink stuff on their head. Google map jokes where the car is in the ocean. It's kids' Lego creations. I'm not seeing the deep state, pro 45, fight the power stuff he's talking about here for the biggest retweets of 2017. I'm seeing meme jokes. And we're talking like your aunt would put on Facebook meme jokes.
Angry cat memes.
Yeah, I'm waiting for minions. There's nothing here. So his whole narrative comes down to filter bubble. The accounts I like and I follow were very well, yeah, that's what those people will talk about.
They were getting bombed.
That's like coming back from your proctologist and saying he was very obsessed with my ass. I feel like the when I went to see my proctologist in 2017, I feel like all he wanted to do was talk about my ass. And it was very off-putting to me because, it's like, is that our medical establishment now? Is that what it's like in 2017? They were just obsessed with the ass.
Did he give your ass a pounding? The deep state?
Yeah, my deep state proctologist.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
Sort of coalesced around that. And now the result is that they decided to take very aggressive actions to stifle and limit the voices of those whose opinions they disagree with. And so although I was incredibly skeptical of the Elon thing, and frankly suspected that it was all a ruse to get us microchipped because, oh, well, now we're going to have privacy and digital identity. Okay, well, if that starts to happen, you better believe I'm coming out against Elon. I will. But if he doesn't ask me to shoot something into my body and I can have privacy without that violation, that physical rape in a sense, then I'm happy with it, okay? We are.
Did he just say that? Did he just really compare that to that? Did he just use that analogy?
Why? I am a verbose and gregarious individual when it comes to writing and to verbal interactions, and I am at a loss for words because I feel as though a large section of my brain died. Elon's going to microchip us. I thought Bill Gates was going to microchip us. I thought the US government was going to microchip us. I thought they didn't need to microchip us because we all carry a goddamn cell phone that can be triangulated at any time very accurately to our location at all times. And that all the apps we use record and share our location data, our galleries, our contacts constantly.
People openly post every fucking thing, every minute of their life online.
He's like, as long as Elon doesn't straight up rape me with a microchip dildo, I'm okay with whatever he does. As long as there isn't that physical rape. Bloody. No. He doesn't need to. Whatever he could want from you is in that.
That's how he feels about the vaccine, too. You know, he's like one of them people, a microchip or whatever. Blah, blah, blah.
I just got another vaccine. I just went and got my tetanus done the other day, and I still don't have my microchip. I am very disappointed. I still don't get 5G. My home internet sucks. Like, these microchips are just, I don't know, they don't work. I need a better microchip. Maybe Elon will come out with the better microchip dildos, and I'll finally get ass 5G for my proctologist for the deep state.
Maybe my storage checks will start coming.
How long can this guy rant about this garbage?
Well, we're only 15 minutes in out of a 2-hour video.
I feel like we've been in it for a year.
He's so far all over the fucking map.
It would take me 4 days to review this video so I wouldn't go insane.
That's why I stopped doing watching and reviewing them before. Like now I'll come on here and we'll watch this, and I might jump ahead here maybe because I got a half a blunt left, just to see because I can't do it. Like it hurts to hear the shit that he's saying because I'm like no stop. But I got I'm like no, I got to know what's going on for the show, and I'm like I had to stop. I couldn't do it anymore. It was like
Yeah. It is mind-bogglingly inane, erratic, and just chaotically stupid.
He went to the puzzle factory and he's like, I only got 50 cents. What do you got? And they threw a whole bunch of pieces in a box. He's like, all right, cool. Thanks.
Yeah, there's nothing printed on them. Go nuts. And he's like, oh, yeah, they're not blank. There's a secret message.
Like, I got a briefing for everybody here. Look at these puzzles. I got it. This piece goes with this piece. And he slammed. He's like, ah. He rips off the thing. He's like, see, I told you it fits.
Yeah, there's a secret message in my cereal. It says, ooh.
Secret.
Yeah, those are Cheerios.
Taping them together and shit. He's got glue. He's like, look at, here it is. I figured it out. This is the deep state's plan. Right here, the puzzle. It makes a puzzle. It's a picture. It's their map of how they got to do everything. It's the Q map.
Utterly mind-bogglingly insane.
And he starts pointing. He's like, "See this right here? It's connected to this over here, and that right there, and it's over here, and then you got to go over here and right there, and see it all meets in the middle, right here." And that's the vortex of the energy, and they're trying to control that and keep the sun from shooting plasma on us. And the aliens can't help us, but they want to. But they can't until we're technologically advanced. So for us to be technologically advanced enough, that means we're probably going to have to get raped with microchips, David.
I guess that's the only way. Clearly, there's no other venue.
The next logical thing, I mean, the progression of thing is, I mean, we're already putting stuff so people can see, putting chips and everything. I mean, people, it's going to happen and everything. Technologically wise, that's where it's going. Eventually, there's going to be a bunch of people walking around with fucking microchips and shit stuck up their ass.
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, I don't find Elon that attractive, so he's really going to have to pay me good to put something up my ass.
You know, it's going to be with that movie with fucking Keanu Reeves, and he's got to carry the data in his head and shit there. I can't.
Johnny Mnemonic.
Yeah, there you go.
The future's most wanted fugitive.
It's going to be like that. People are going to be able to like, boop.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh, I don't like that memory anymore. Let me erase it and shit. You know, that's the way it's going to happen. And people are like, well, yeah, look at Tesla knew like that was going to, well, no, yeah, well, he was just a little ahead of his time with his thinking and stuff like that. Or, you know what I mean? Or, see, that people knew it was real because it was in this sci-fi magazine back in 1946. And it's like, well, no, that's why it's real now, because somebody back then had a wild imagination. They wrote this story, and then somebody read it some years later when they was a kid, and they're like, oh, I'm going to do that. And they tried to work on it. They couldn't do it. Eventually, here we are now. You know, they got a little piece of the puzzle, and now here we are. That's how we got here. A lot of this shit. People started talking about going to space before we actually went to space. Well, by that point, people were like, oh, yeah, well, fuck. Read that book. I want to go to fucking space. You know what I mean? Somebody might, again, eventually some people's imaginations come real. But again, some of the shit, a lot of not, you know, I'd say 99% of imaginations don't come real because people can imagine a lot of shit, you know?
Yeah.
But that's how, you know, inventions happen. Somebody sits there like, you know, they're like, I don't want to fucking do this way anymore or whatever, or I want to do something cool to go here, but I can't do it. So they invent a fucking Jeep, or they invent some new kind of tool to fucking make a job easier. That's why we got robots fucking building cars and doing everything now. So it's only logical that at some point we're all going to have some type of fucking technology within us some way or another to do something.
But
is you gotta be okay with getting ass raped by fucking microchips then? Is that when it's gonna be okay?
Wasn't that on Futurama? Fry goes to the bank and they're like, we don't have your colonic map on file.
Yeah.
And he's like, I still have my old debit card.
Oh man, Futurama.
Yeah.
All right, let's just jump ahead. We'll go 15 minutes ahead here, and let's see what random fucking shit he's talking about, or is he still dragging on about something?
Suppressed. And then, of course, again, going back to the movie, we now have very much actionable information that suggests.
I go back. What did that say? Did that say 2,000 mules? What?
Talking about that last time. Then we have, of course, Elon.
2,000 mules paved the way for arrest. What the fuck?
Buying Twitter and what appears to be a very ingenious plan to expose the amount of false traffic that was going out there. And I talked about after the 2016 election and 2017 that Twitter was just an absolute stomping ground against the cabal, and they put an end to it. They changed everything around, and now that's all come.
So he's 30 minutes in, and he's recapping everything that's going to take 15 minutes. He's recapping the first 15 minutes. This is what happened, I think. He's just recapping the first 15 minutes, and it took him 15 minutes, so that's why we're still here 30 minutes in.
2,000 Mules is a free-to-watch documentary on election fraud.
Oh boy. Oh boy. I bet you he's got the My Pillow guy on speed dial.
Dinesh D'Souza exposes voter fraud in the 2020 election. Well, this is something that's been investigated and didn't happen. So this is just more of that like big lie conspiracy crap.
I think all the voter fraud that was actually real voter fraud was actually done by the Republicans.
Yeah.
Like
there
some
wasn't
people
many
voted for their
cases.
dead relatives and stuff, and there was some actual cases, some voter fraud, and it was all on the Republican side. You know, it was only like a handful of cases. I don't remember exactly how many. We could look it up, but so that's a 2,000 mules.
This
Wow,
suggests
yeah.
that there's some kind of pipeline being prepared for contentious information to come out in the hopes that the information may be less suppressed. And then, of course, again, going back to the movie, we now have very much actionable information that suggests to me that within even a week or two, this could lead to indictments, arrests, and so on.
Oh boy, indictments and arrest again. Coming up soon. Get your popcorn ready. It better be a whole lot of popcorn because you might be waiting longer than a week or two.
Yeah, that's that. I remember all
Always
that
with the
crap from
indictments and the
before,
arrests
never
are coming.
happened. This is that release the Kraken, the storm is coming, garbage all over it. It's recycled conspiracy trash. He's just hitting his greatest hits.
It's got a new name on it. It's the new name. It's the 2,000 Mules.
There's no ambiguity here, and it's becoming very clear how this was done, why this was done, etc. Now, I have always contended, and I continue to do so, that all of this that we're seeing in the world is not an accident. It's an organized effort. It's done on purpose, and it's done to save the planet. We're actually seeing a very amazing thing going on right now. So,
What?
Like I'm looking at this 2,000 Mules crap. It's been debunked by the Washington Post, the Associated Press, PolitiFact, NPR. Like it's basically just pro-Trump big lie conspiracy. Basically all the crap that Lindell goes on and on about, where they claim they have smoking gun evidence, but they never actually present
Never
it.
do. They never,
So this
never
is
do.
just another like crappy mockumentary, reactionary piece of garbage. It's not doing anything. It's available to watch for free. It's not having an impact. It's a joke.
This is evidence that it's going to save the world. It's
No.
going to take down the deep state cabal, man. I think this is real. I don't know. David Wilcox seems to think it's real. I think this is pretty real. I'm getting good vibes from this whole thing. I haven't even seen this 2,000 Mules documentary, and I just get good vibes about it.
Yeah. My cat Felix here has left better evidence of something happening in his litter box than this guy has in his whole presentation.
If he thinks people are going to believe arrests are coming for this thing, the arrests still haven't happened for this whole fucking deep state fucking breadcrumb booing on fucking indictment things that has been talked about for fucking, I don't know, almost a decade, maybe, who knows.
Yeah.
These people just, sometimes I feel like they just like the punishment of listening to this idiot. I don't know how people can just continue to think that anything he says is real.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling. It's completely mind-boggling.
I mean, what was it up to? 100,000 indictments. The arrests are coming any day. Draining the swamp. It's coming. It's gonna happen.
They're gonna be all the Hollywood directors and the actors, and they're gonna be storming Oprah's house, and
they're all going to Gitmo.
Arrest them all, and Tom Hanks was already arrested. He was never in quarantine. He was given evidence, and
oh boy, it's finally happening. What? How many decades later?
Yeah, they'll release that
next
Kraken
one that was on my list here.
Oh, what?
Now we got Roe versus Wade. So now he's going to go on how that leak is somehow connected to something, and
Oh,
other than
that's the big distraction. That's the distraction. No, that's an issue. That's a real issue. That's not a distraction. It's a good. That's a real topic, David. It's a real issue. It's not. It's, maybe a little bit of a distraction in some ways to take their eyes off of some of this going over here, but they don't want too much on that because, especially a leak thing. You know what I mean? So but let's see how this is a distraction.
Here was, of course, this decision from the Supreme Court that was leaked in advance of it coming out. And it's very interesting because for many years, I used to be the only one or one of the only people online. In many cases, I was the only person writing articles or doing podcasts or videos online who was aware of the degree to which wag the dog type of stuff was happening, of the degree to which a public event is actually a follow-up to something else that was considered embarrassing, and that there's a need for distraction. This is far, far more common than we think.
well, yeah, it's his entire content model. It's very common.
I just haven't wrote those stories and made up that bullshit piece of the puzzle yet.
Yeah. Like, this is what we're doing. We're going to watch this guy wag the dog for 3 hours to fit his bias.
Yeah, he wants to say it's a wag the dog, but what the fuck is this? You're wagging the fuck. All right, we'll listen to another.
You better not wag the dog too hard to scare my cat.
That dog might eat your dog.
And again, what are they trying to do? They're trying to agitate the left. They're trying to get those people all riled up, get those people out on the streets. Honestly, if the people in Oklahoma want to pass a law that says they're not going to do third term, so what? Honestly, so what? Because everybody got brainwashed by something from the 1970s, which is really probably, I would say, not going to be apt to happen now. And that is the dreaded coat hanger situation. So bear in mind, folks, I was raised in a liberal state. I was raised in upstate New York.
Okay.
Why does that matter?
I don't know. He's just a piece of shit right there. He's just showing how much he's a piece of shit.
This is just random. Like, he plays connect the dots with his bias. Like, this guy's grandma has got to be yelling at him about wanting that red yarn back.
When he got to connect the dot book when he was a coloring book, when he connected the dots to the next page.
Yeah, like, this is definitely one of those guys where in kindergarten the parents sent the letter home saying, like, David can't color inside the lines.
He keeps telling us it's a secret picture.
Yeah.
We told him no, the picture's right there in front of you.
Yeah. He's been staring at what he says is the magic eye poster. We've been telling him it's just a brick wall.
But yeah, I can't. That's about all the David Wilcock I can take for one.
Yeah, I can't. I can't.
That's how you know that it's like all bots watching and saying stuff, because it's stupid little. It's nothing. Nobody says anything like of relevance. If it is, it's an actual person. It's big. You can tell it's an actual one person every now and then and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's so many people watching it. Who can actually sit there and watch that for 2 hours?
It's mind-boggling. Even when I look at some of the times we run into, and I wonder to myself, like, okay, I know there's a few people who could sit through all of this, but
there's no way all those people that's some of those videos get hundreds of thousands of fucking views and shit on them.
Yeah, well, when you buy views,
it says he's got 30,000 people watching at that time, and it's like there's no way 30,000 people are watching this right now.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, YouTube and Facebook were busted for misrepresenting views years back again, too.
Yep.
So what constitutes a view is very different, and it all fits in with their advertising profile. So
I'm pretty sure he has over 200,000 subscribers, and he doesn't have over 100,000 subscribers, and he's never gotten a play button. It's because his his viewers' stuff isn't real.
Yeah, I believe it.
You only get that if you have your actual viewership is actual real viewerships and real subscribers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and let's face it, what he puts out is basically unhinged pseudo nonsense. So, I mean, that's not something even YouTube is going to want to award.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that guy is something else. That
my head actually hurts now after
he
listening
makes
to
Jeremy Corbell look like the most rational, easygoing, and clearly, you know, legitimate individual you could possibly have on Fox News.
Yeah, that's That's why you don't see David on any actual news things.
Yeah.
Talking about anything because they're like, oh no, we can't.
Yeah, nobody's gonna. You know, we've got UFO whistleblower David Wilcox here to talk to us about the, you know, the current state of the UAP phenomenon. And he's like, I'm glad you had me on here so I can tell you about how the sun god Ra is connected to Netflix and how that is going to drive up the value of your cryptocurrency today.
We want to
But
talk
you
about.
have to be careful, because if the
David,
necromancer
we want to talk
is
about the
in charge of
UAPs
phenomenon,
in the congressional hearing. Well, I'm going to get to that. We've got to go back. It's connected to the deep state, so it takes a little while for me to explain it. I got little flashcards I can show you.
yeah, oh, mind-boggling.
Like, he doesn't show any evidence or anything like connecting to that, like possible things that connect to what he's saying. He just shows what he's saying.
Yeah. No, I don't
Like
think
he
you
didn't
can show evidence.
even put up like a thumbnail, like a little picture of like the Netflix stock going down like this or anything. It just said, and
Yeah.
the Netflix stock dropped.
If this guy actually showed his evidence, his videos would only be 5 minutes long.
All right. Well, the last blunt has been smoked. It's been a pleasure having you on again.
Glad to help. I'll go fall into a state of bizarre mental exhaustion until I get up for work tomorrow from this.
I might have to put off doing what I need to do in the garden until the morning now because I really am like so drained from that. I'm like, how do we get here? And you know,
that is intellectual kryptonite.
it sure is. I definitely lost some brain cells, and it wasn't from the weed I was smoking.
Yeah. I'm glad my mask has a smile because I don't.
Man. All right. Well, it was good to see you. Hopefully, we'll have you on again sometime soon. Not watching David Wilcox anytime soon for a while. I've limit myself on that. We'll find something else to go over. I'm sure something will happen. So everybody else in the chat, you know where to find Bitter Skeptic on Instagram or when he's on here. That's about it. All the social media he does. So if you want to follow him, you can go follow him on Instagram. And until next Thursday, I'm out of here. Everybody be safe. Peace.
Have a good night, everybody.